Hello.
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 All right. We're here, I believe. I think we're all here. Jazz is here, but muted. Right on. I'm going to roll 1d6.
That's a good roll.
Now that I've rolled 1d6. Now it's raining. How was the rain check?
I see.
Aha.
The stream is still seeing the intro screen, but
Wow. All right. So is everyone ready to get back into it?
Yes.
Yep.
There's going to be some new mechanics that will be unveiled in a bit, so hang with that. But in the meantime, I need to put the recap in. I didn't do that. I did all the preparation up to rendering the recap and uploading it and putting it on the server, and then I did not put it in the game itself.
we walked south and fought Skelemans.
Yeah,
Then we came here and plot stuff happened.
right on.
Nothing too consequential though.
Yeah, no, not nothing.
Minor stuff.
Minor stuff.
As long as we don't think about it, it'll be fine.
Yeah, just don't think about it. Don't remember anything.
That's my general life philosophy.
All right.
Just don't think about it.
We'll be starting the recap in 5, 4,
Here's my note.
3, 2, 1.5, 1.25.
1 in a fifth, 1 in a sixth, 1 in a seventh.
Welcome back to Hinklia.
Action.
After briefly meeting with me, the Torchbearers began their journey south to Winching, our beautiful capital, to meet with the Queen. Their travel was interrupted by an ambush of undead on the road. Much to the surprise of everyone, the Torchbearers exhibited new abilities, with Oven becoming far sturdier, Grill's mastery of druidic powers taken to new heights, Zephyr able to fly around at incredibly high speeds, controlling the wind, and Dougal exhibiting a control of magic he had never experienced before. Though surprised by the sudden growth of power, the next day they encountered a hapless merchant attempting to take advantage of the serial mine closing. There, they deduced only they have exhibited the strange power growth. After visiting by a renowned bed and breakfast, but not quite being able to stop there, they finally made it into Winching. There, impressed by the antique fashion and architecture, Zephyr looked into getting a vest for Dougal. Owen discovered the ambush was involving unique creatures and suspected Salcrow's involvement, and when Zephyr and Dougal went to investigate the strange power, it was there that Dougal discovered the seals of Etterwile were starting to come loose, resulting in the bearers of adrenaline getting increased power. Dougal began to remember events in the Diamond Void, and consequently remembering Shashayla and Leafless led to Shashayla to visit the two. A conversation ensued, ending with Shashayla deciding the Torchbearers were fine, and the Diamond Night Reavers might need the help of the Torchbearers in the future. Dougal, who just wanted to do some background research on a strange phenomenon, closed the book and nervously walked back to the group.
All right. And so we are live.
Hooray!
Hello.
Huzzah.
We're here.
We should immediately begin with the flashback, because Gruul had also some ambitions that Gruul could have worked on, but we did not get to it in session. Gruul, do you
Can we
have
start with the introductions?
Yeah, we should know who Gruul is first before that. I will say Blix goes first, as Blix is first in the name order.
Skip me. I've got a sandwich in my mouth right now.
Alright, I will say Hats goes, as Hats is second in the name order.
All right. Hello, I'm Hats. I play Dougal, the wizard of little self-confidence, but rather more power than he had a week ago, and he's not sure how to deal with that fact, especially because that comes with more responsibility. Not in the great power comes great responsibility sense, although I guess that's true, but in the sense of, oh no, something horrible is going to happen, and now it's fallen on me to do something about it, and everything I'm expected to do is escalating so far beyond what I thought it was going to be, and I didn't think I was capable of that. Next up, Shrike.
Hi, I'm Shrike. I play Oven, a Minotaur who's basically the meathead of the party. He's extremely confident about all this and kind of excited that everything's changing, which means everything's new and exciting. So, all right, Jazz, you want to tell us about Gruel?
Yeah, Gruel is I guess there aren't races in the system, but Gruel's like a halfling druid. She's happy with what we just accomplished in Larrington a little bit ago, and she's excited to see what we do next.
And I have finished my sandwich, so I will introduce myself. I play Zephyr, an acolyte of Noom. He's old, he lived on his own for 40 to 50 years, and he just wants to help these people. And let's go to Pog, who plays everyone else.
Right on. I play everyone else. So, we are in the city of Winching at this point. Dougal is looking to regroup with everyone else. The combat health tracker has been fixed, so you can mouse over people to see what their health is now. So that's good.
That should be when we see that in combat.
It should say that everyone's unharmed.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to show the chat by mousing over people. The stream should also be able to see, now Microsoft Edge, that you are unharmed, and it also shows the segments of the health bars as well, which is just a handy visual indicator for when combat occurs, which it is not at the moment.
Unless you just start attacking people randomly.
I could just start attacking people randomly.
I cast Call Lightning on the entire city.
Oh my god.
You can always try. It's already raining, so going to thunder is not that big of a stretch.
It's raining?
It is raining. You should see rain effect.
Oh, I think I have those turned off.
Oh, I just saw
I saw that
flash.
lightning. I see that.
Alright, a thunderstorm has begun out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Jess, did you have anything that you wanted to do in your downtime for ambitions?
No, sorry, I forgot about that, and nothing comes to mind at the moment. I'll come up with some over the course of the session, most likely, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. We can always just flash back to it. We can also work on group ambitions as well, which you'll probably come up with a few as the session progresses. As there's going to be some stuff and things that may happen.
Stuff and things to stuff.
So, by the end of the day today, you will be meeting with the Queen. Dougal, you have had a life-shattering and earth-destroying revelation. And you make your way back to the group. Gruel has finished her mission, which will be revealed secretly later.
Secret tool for later. And just to establish my own understanding, as a player, we are past the point where, obviously he's not going to be going out spreading the word everywhere, but we are past the point where not telling people would be like keeping the seal, right? Ship sailed on that.
More or less.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will tell the others.
The important people in the world probably already know, and the people that
Yeah.
don't know probably wouldn't understand it to begin with. That's my
Yep.
understanding.
And can I get in writing the name of the sealed entity?
Vetter.
I had another T in there. Thank you.
The King of the Mist. Rival
Well-
to the gods.
Yeah. So guys,
Where are we meeting up?
Sorry, what?
Where are we meeting up?
I think back up by you guys, because I think that's where the cart is. So as we walk back through, I'll use some wind magic to kind of form an umbrella, keep us dry.
All right.
So, Elvin, Gruel, good to see you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
There's-
the exciting things I found out about the skull. So this skull
Oh,
is like,
you too.
it's not like a regular skull of a creature we would know. It's like some kind of mutant or something. So I'm suspecting Salkro is probably behind those undead that attacked us.
Does that mean he's
Oh.
already targeting us? Or was that just left for anyone? No, it was set up recently, so we know it was probably targeting us.
I mean,
I
who else
mean,
would do
it-
it?
could have been set up recently to target anyone. That's
It seems to point towards it being towards us.
I mean, I'm not
yeah,
done
it
quite
easily
investigating,
could.
but the skull is definitely weird.
So I've got some research in. I've got some good news, and I've got some bad news. The bad news is kind of more bad than the good news is good. I'm sorry, but the good. Do you want the good news first, or should I start with the bad news?
Tell us the good
Let's
news.
start with the good news, because I think the bad news is going to take a while.
The good news is that we're not going to explode from powers or something. That's
Oh, yeah.
I know that wasn't like probably something you were thinking of as going to
But
happen.
it was weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not gonna rip my shirts.
No promises on that, but
Yeah, that's kind of up to you.
I mean, if you get stronger, it could happen.
I mean, I guess that's good news, yeah.
So,
And that leads us into some of the bad news about
Yeah,
why it happened.
like Dougal takes a look around to make sure that there's no one else nearby. So you remember the leafless and the whole diamond room, right?
With the missing statue.
Do
Yeah.
I remember?
As they say it, suddenly, yeah, it's familiar.
Oh, the guy with bad feng shui.
Yes. So, so one of us was thinking about another person a bit too much. Shayla, the name on the plaque of the missing statue.
Wait, what? Why did we forget this? Like, I feel like I'm just remembering this now.
It's
That's-
because they want to be forgotten, right?
Yeah, because that place doesn't exist, so you couldn't remember it unless you're actively looking at a reminder of it. But like before, this conversation wouldn't have counted for that. Like, you wouldn't be remembering it as clearly as this. So, that place is starting to exist more, right? And that's happening because, the big, terrible thing that was sealed there is starting to get a little free. And that's also why the whole power thing is a thing.
Exactly. That brings us right into the powers. We found, or Dougal found in a book, the name of a being, Vetterwile, king of the mist, rival to the gods. And before he was sealed away, everyone had powers like what we just saw. That's what the world was like. Him being sealed away changed it to what it is now. And since it's weakening, we changed back.
Yeah, so, on the one hand, yay, magic. On the other hand, we might have we're going to have eventually a horrible, super powerful mist god thing on the loose. And,
So, just another Saturday.
No! No, it's not just another Saturday!
What do you get up to on the weekends, Ovin?
Come on, you don't like punch out gods legally?
When have you ever done that?
Oh,
When has anyone ever done anything remotely like that?
Yeah,
Says
Ovin,
the
you
only-
are very strong.
Says Dougal, the person who did that. Dougal has come closer to punching out a god than any of the other pilgrims. I'm just saying, I'm pointing it out.
Of the world.
Yeah, things get wild in war. It's basically the same.
I wonder what this...
would like Zephyr to give me a sense check here. This is controlled. Very controlled.
Okay. I was about to ask for something, but let's see if this is the same thing. Sense. Controlled. Roll. Partial success. Minor complication.
A minor complication. You feel something in the rain, and you aren't exactly certain what it is that you feel, but you know that this is a sign that you need to be paying attention.
Okay, this does kind of tie into what I was going to ask. I was kind of going with more of a knowledge thing, which I'm probably not great at. But, like, this is an effect upon the whole... This was the change of the whole world, and now it's changing again. What kind of effect or reverberations to Noom that has? Am I asking the same thing you were telling me to go for?
Unrelated, but related, if that makes sense. So I think with this, we'll tie them in together as part of it, and that's the complication, is that they're tied together, which is that you get the sense that Noom is unaffected by this change. Noom is Noom. Noom has always been like this. If this change affects how magic works, we are all familiar with the four forces of the world. One of the forces is the force of magic. The force of magic has been changed. That doesn't necessarily change people's vows that they have with the world and how the world and cycles react. But it has changed you. And you might have a different relationship with Noom now as a result of this power. And the complication is, the more you think about that, the more you ruminate on it, the more that you fail to pay attention to what Noom was trying to warn you, which is that someone is walking up to you right now.
It's too
But-
focused within.
And
So,
a large person, a Goliath, comes out around a corner.
I was told that you were here, and yet you went into the Crown District and immediately left.
that did, oh,
Do we know this person?
he's a royal guard, I assume.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
is
yeah,
it
because we're
just
meeting
like
with the queen.
I like that assumption so much that I am going to give you a study check, Dougal, and I'm going to give you a Bane because you said that. Just because I like
Bane?
that answer. That's right.
Oh, shit.
Is that a curse or?
That's -1 dice.
Yeah. Okay.
Thankfully, this is a study check.
There are no consequences to this check. It's just funny that you said that immediately.
Whoops. 5.
Partial success.
Hey, a
You
5
rolled the
is a partial
same
success.
that I did.
The minor complication that occurs, because that's the only thing that makes sense in this scenario, and what I was going for, is you say that, oh, right, it's a royal guard, and then you turn around and you stare face to face at High General Rudgar.
Yeah. Sorry, I was, sorry, sir.
Do you,
Apology accepted. But I'm a royal guardsman. Shouldn't I be calling you, sir, Great Torchbearer?
yes.
You are pretty great,
Yes, you should.
No.
Very well, sirs. I shall escort you to Her Majesty.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Rudgar will take you to the Crown District. If you have anything you'd like to say to him along the way, you can.
Hold on, I gotta consult my notes. What were we meeting the queen for?
A number of
What
things,
was our
really.
objective with that? Okay.
Jazz remembers this. Jazz, why were you meeting the Queen?
I don't know if we were asked to come.
We were asked by 2 people. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
The person in Mistfell and the mayor. She was the mayor and the general, right? The
Yeah,
Jester?
Mayor Lamshin and the General Jester.
Oh, okay. That was a while ago.
I'm good at remembering the vague specifics, and not the names.
Not
All right.
the name of the General is, like, to be expected. She did not...
True.
He's old.
I'm a broad strokes person.
All right.
But yes, our true mission was to be revealed by the Queen, I guess. I think.
Not her.
Our official reason was that we're torchbearers and going around connecting
Yeah.
Aether Pyres, but behind the scenes, we've got a secret mission, which is to be revealed.
Okay. Will you be joining us in the meeting, General?
Yes, I will. And it is very convenient there are exactly 4 of you.
That's convenient. Why?
There are 6 chairs next to the throne.
I thought so.
Oh,
I thought that was going to be the answer.
Wait, we're not going to be sitting beside her, are we?
No, you will be sitting in the spot where the council usually sits. There are 3 generals and 3 other council members. So, mathematically, it works out to our benefit.
Should
Good.
we refer to her as Your Majesty?
Yes, you may not refer to her as anything else. But you knew that.
Yes.
Just clarifying. You never know. Things might change town to town.
Hmm.
Dogo, you were saying something?
No, just another in the long string of apologies.
Oh, did
Why?
you know Dogo's a headmaster now?
What did you...
I am not! That's not how that works. That's not how anything works.
I mean, it's how it works in my head.
I mean, it just shows that you have Oven's respect. That's how Oven sees you.
Okay, but that doesn't mean he has to.
If you say it enough
Make up-
times, it becomes true.
No!
You just have to believe.
That's.
See, I think the problem here is that Oven is going for more of an emotional-based sense of what the future holds, while Dougal is going for a facts and statistical and numbers approach.
Of what is literally true right now.
But what does that mean about what is true tomorrow? I don't know what that means. It just sounded good.
It's all about force of will.
You didn't say is going to be, which would also be false. You said
Look,
is.
is anyone else claiming to be headmaster right now? No. Therefore,
You know what? Dougal,
you've got more people
you're the-
recognizing you as headmaster than anybody else.
Yeah. Dougal, you know what? You're the headmaster of this party. That's what you are.
Fine.
If we've had enough of that.
Yes,
See, the general
sorry.
agrees too. See? And he's got a discerning eye. He knows.
The general takes you all the way down over here.
I like how it does like a very slow transition of the character going across.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
If this is roll 20, they just like teleport over there.
You will be entering the throne room.
I kind
I
of
expect you to bow.
dust. I kind of dust myself off and kind of get the wrinkles out of my robes as best I can.
Does she like puppet shows?
I mean, who doesn't?
Okay.
Calm down. This one should not speak or do anything uncouth.
Oh, don't worry. Girl doesn't say much.
Dougal has produced a paper bag from the inside of his robe and is currently hyperventilating into it.
I cast Calm Emotions on Dougal.
Thanks.
Is this ethical? Is this technically
needed
mind
that.
control? Alright. No problem.
Is this
Let's get
ethical?
ready.
Debatable.
Yeah.
I mean, you could choose to try and resist it. Is it any different than trying to, like, with words, calm someone down?
Move forward.
Oh,
Stop in the middle of the circle.
can't all fit.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't going to say it.
I'd said that out of character. I need to come up with a voice. I'll come up with a voice. I'll start thinking of one.
Oven bows.
I will also bow.
Dougal bows so hard that his hat starts to fall off and he has to scramble to keep it on.
Well, you
I
are the
catch
Lord
it.
of Hats. As
True.
you enter into this chamber, you see there is an ornate passage leading up to the throne room, upon which a female rat folk sits. There are a number of couches that have been set out to the side, and a central area which is famous. It is known as the Spot of Destiny, as it is literally where people go to achieve any sort of sentencing, if the queen is to be involved. As your gaze goes up the very narrow hallway, you can see statues of famous heroes of the Hinkleyan Dominion, as well as the royal insignia multiple times over. Following it past the throne room, you can see there's a large stained glass window, and beside it, behind the window, there is a glowing, rotating orb of some sort of magical object. You're not quite certain what it is, but it is particularly infamous. Dougal, I think, would be familiar. Everyone else wouldn't, rather. Dougal, you would know that this is a legendary magical artifact, and one that is so hard to control that they barely bother. They just keep it contained. It's why this room is lit at all times with this glowing rainbow energy. And it can be harnessed as a source of power. It's just so volatile that no one wants to. The giant General Rudgar struggles to fit in his chair, which is sized for a normal person. There is another general that I think Oven would be familiar. General Vanshin, a general that you particularly dislike, as he is the general of Festifil.
Yeah. Ick.
The queen just looks down at you for a bit. Queen Feltwarren looks down at you all. You may stand and take spot alongside the council members. For the time being, I do not want to raise my voice.
I'm going to sit beside the person I don't like.
I'll sit next to Oven, then keep an eye on him.
Who, me? Do something? No.
Torchbearers of Mistfell. You may speak.
It's an honor, Your Majesty. Sorry. Dougal is white-knuckling the arms of the chair.
Torchbearers of Mistfell. And by Von Bancroft's admission, chosen of the Diamond Knight Reaver himself. Do not worry, you may speak of such matters in this room. So, the statue spoke to you.
Yes.
Yeah. It did.
That's correct, you're right.
Although, more so talking to him since then.
Ah. I was aware that the seals have been released to an extent. So this has allowed you correspondence with him.
Yes, and some other things as well, but the correspondence is the important part.
The entire time as this is happening, she's not even looking at you, she's just looking at Gruel. I have seen you before. Perhaps when you were younger. You remind me of him. Yes, you were with him before. Our Shelmaritian warrior monks, the priests that would travel.
Gruel would nod her head.
So they adopted you, did they?
Yes.
I have sent General Vera to investigate by the Starcrest Temple to see what had happened to them. This, of course, leads into what I must discuss with all of you. Tell me, in your time in Mistfell, have any of you heard of the name... She pauses for a second, as if she doesn't want to say it, but then goes ahead. Selcrow.
Yes. I'd say
Let's-
it with kind of a disgust in my voice.
Yeah. We're familiar with him, Your Majesty.
Oh, yes, Your Majesty.
You may refer to me as Your Majesty, of course, but in this room, I am Felicia Feltwarren the Fourth. You may, as my generals, call me Felicia.
Oh, I'm just a private, actually.
Yes, you're Felicia. Matt, I'm sorry.
It is fine. I remember when I was a young girl, I had the same starstruck look on my face. It is a mixture of ambition and fear. Let you feel like you don't belong in this room, and that if you do something wrong, you'll lose this chance forever, or make an enemy. No?
Yeah. That's about right. Yes.
There are no enemies in this room. I have long...
Right, Oven.
I have long looked after this world. The Hinkleyan Dominion and the people in it. We have seen better days, and admittedly, I have not done the best job in protecting our citizens. As Misfellians, you have every reason to distrust or even dislike me. I hope in time you will come to trust that my heart is pure, my ambitions just.
No. I trust that. I trust that. It's not. That's.
Then, do you
It-
trust in my ability?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Part of my ability as a ruler is selecting people to do tasks. I have selected you.
Oh, then you're doing a great job so far, Your Majesty.
Yes, you've selected a wonderful group of people.
I walked right into that one. Yes, Your Majesty. Understood.
You will not gain confidence overnight. Confidence is something that you build. You cannot jump into it like one would jump into a pool of water. Nonetheless, stick your toes in, bit by bit, until you live up to the mantle of the Torchbearer. Until then, it seems like your allies believe in your strength, even if you do not. So
That's-
trust in them.
Yeah.
Now, that aside, Halfling,
Yes.
do you know anything of what happened to your troop?
She shakes her head. Went to Starcrest Temple, never came back.
Do you know what is in the Starcrest Temple?
No.
I imagine. I only told your leader. Inside the Starcrest Temple is the star map. Or rather, the beginning of the star map. You see, there are many things in Luskalia that cannot be found unless you know where they are. It is an application of the Force of Vow. In order to find them, you must promise to the world that you will find them. So, to that end, things have been hidden in places where they have been forgotten for years and years. In particular, the star map. We don't know where it leads. All we know is that it was previously sought after by Bale. And if Bale wants to find out where that road leads, it is probably best that no one travels it, no?
That's probably true. Do you Can you?
Now, the problem is, it is not only Bale that sought the map. If it was only Bale, then it would be something that we could deal with. The issue is Professor Salcro also seeks the map. It is one of the things that he looked for in this place. The other thing he sought was the Deus Idalis.
Wait. The Deus Idalis?
Yes.
I thought there weren't any.
If only they were so easily destroyed. No, they cannot be destroyed. They are virtually indestructible. And, even if they were to be destroyed, the nature of these things are that they are much easier to rebuild. To get rid of them completely is a fool's errand. But, remember, there are ways to hide things, unless you only know where they are.
Like in a plane that doesn't exist?
Interesting thought. Yes, that is an example of a way to hide a thing away for quite some time. The truth of the matter is that most things that are said to be destroyed have been buried deep, deep, deep beneath the ground in places that no one could ever, in a million billion years, attempt to find them. Well, the word nobody has been stretched as of late. The Starcrest Temple has been locked away, and yet many are attempting to gain access to it. Furthermore, and this is the reason why you have been brought here, we have reason to believe that Professor Selcro has perfected something that should not be done by anybody. The creation of Aether Souls.
I
What?
succeeded.
You already done it.
Yes. The
Yeah, but the
problem
results aren't
is...
that great.
She points to Oven and just nods, runs her hair through her fur a little bit, takes her crown off for a second, puts it back on.
The problem is, creating the soul is one thing, placing it in a body is another entirely. The body rejects the soul, but the soul is intact.
Body rejects the soul? How does the body reject a soul? 'Cause it seems like a soul would be the one doing the rejecting.
Incompatible, maybe.
Just
Well, you wouldn't think of it like. The thing is, most examples that you'd be looking at are cases where they're in harmony because they were created together, and it's kind of the order in which things typically happen. Is you're right that the soul kind of comes first, but the soul isn't built to react to things in the same way that a body is. Like you get sick and your body reacts to that. If the soul doesn't match the body, that's another thing that the body is going to react to. It's why all sorts of soul curses affect the body. It's taking advantage of that Sorry.
Question, Sensei. What about reincarnation? Because that seems to be fine.
Well,
although it's not really commonplace, but
I would speculate that that's a more natural process.
It's still a natural soul, not one that's created raw.
Yes,
then
that is correct.
What's the difference?
I would like to imagine it as follows. This is an analogy. An analogy is by nature imperfect. Understand this, and let us proceed forward. Oven, you have horns.
Yeah.
Your armor is fitted for horns.
Yeah.
Imagine wearing a helmet that is not fitted for horns.
It wouldn't fit.
This is how a body comes to reject a soul. Does that elucidate things?
It does.
These souls that are being created are in themselves perfect, but the souls are not designed in a way that they fit a body. For you see, the souls themselves are artificial. The end results are monsters. Literal monsters. And I'm not speaking in the sense of these are imperfect, flawed beings. I mean, the rejection of the soul by the body in of itself attracts and warps sin.
Well,
So-
that
That'd be
explains the brain thing a little.
Brain thing.
Oh.
we can tell her.
No, I know we can tell her.
Sorry, what are we telling her? Tell me as well.
Went to Larrington, and a lot of stuff happened, but
Like you becoming headmaster, yeah.
no, not
Of
that.
the party.
Um,
Of the party.
Of Larrington.
but the headmaster of Larrington,
Ex-headmaster.
well, yes,
That
'cause he's
part's true.
dead.
You can't deny that.
Was being controlled by a giant brain monster in the basement of the central tower that Stelcrow had put there. And we did get rid of it. In the process of trying to do some other stuff. But I think that was something that was like a failed byproduct of what he was trying to do.
It was like an absolutely enormous, gigantic brain with psychic powers.
I've heard
Yeah.
of such things before in the Underdark. So he has brought one up to the surface. I
Dead.
see.
Double killed it.
Well, good job.
Thank.
You may be wondering then what the point of creating these souls is. We have a theory as to who is commissioning this research.
He doesn't just want to make an army.
Wait, commissioning? I thought he was just doing it.
There's a lot of money that was required to do this. The reagents to create a soul, as you can imagine, are extensive. We believe they're being funded by the Tutherian military. There is a
Oh.
common thing which happens amongst the Voidwalkers there.
But
You
Larrington hates Tutheria. They were specifically doing stuff against Tutheria.
Yes, it is one of our border academies, and we used it to train secret agents in an attempt to gain information on the Tutherian military. It is that way that we found out about an issue plaguing the region, if you forgive my poor humor. In Tutheria, as you are all aware, the Cursed Lands results in such an intense ether vacuum that souls are literally sucked out of people's bodies, creating monsters.
Yes.
What happens to someone whose soul is sucked out of their body? The end result is that there is a monster created of the soul that is under attack by the Cursed Land itself, and there is a husk of a body. We believe Tutheria is attempting to recycle these bodies using the Aether souls. However, to gain an Aether soul requires you to kill a person. A body for a body, and a body that most likely comes
well, people don't enjoy being killed. Therefore,
Equivalent exchange.
we can assume that it is not in their best interest to do so. However, if the Tutherian military is capable of creating artificial souls, then these lost Voidwalkers can be put back into use. This is, of course, just conjecture, but it would explain why, after a visit to Tutheria, the Viridian Knights were suddenly much better funded.
Oh no.
Viridian
That's
Knights are not very nice people. That's what? That's bad?
They are very bad, yes. They are behind this Larrington brain that you spoke to me about.
Is Salcro in Tutheria himself? Is he physically there?
We don't know. We have ejected him from the Hinkleyan Dominion. Where he is after that, we are not certain.
Because hasn't there been an increase in, it's called sin, right? Or the whatever that miasma is in Tutheria.
That is correct. The amount of sin in Tutheria has been growing as of late, causing them to become increasingly erratic.
So what you just told us is that reason why the experiments there.
It could be. You must understand about Tutheria as they are a very unorthodox country. As they are located within a curse land, they have really no place to go, but simultaneously, no one would dare invade them. They've had millennia to practice their strange combat techniques.
They have a lot
Moreover,
of powerful magic artifacts too, don't they?
yes. Moreover, and most importantly, they have become quite desperate. Ever since Emperor Appius Keltaisi came to the throne, they have been posturing aggressively for year upon year.
okay. So we've got the Velcro with the possibly Deus Adeli. Wakening ancient field being, and now also Ditheria. That's a lot.
It
This
is a
might
lot.
take us a little while to resolve.
However, we are not expecting you to resolve that. Remember,
well,
the
that's
star
easy.
map.
Right.
We
Star map.
believe that the star map is being hunted by members of the Viridian Knights. Therefore, we sent out a team to attempt to find the star map and get there first. If we assume, for example, the first step of the map is in the Starcrest Temple, and the Starcrest Temple is locked, therefore, the entire journey should be safe. But we have come to realize this is a very foolish thought that... Imagine it like so. There are 14 spots, and on the 15th, you will get the treasure at the end of the rainbow.
If we could skip step 1 and go right to like 14.
That is correct. That is what we are frightened of. And there's only one way to determine if that's the case, and that is to start on it on our own.
And I worry that we'll lead them right to it.
It's possible. Initially, the plan was to bring the star map here and have you investigate it once you are ready. However, reports are that the Shelmaritian warrior monks have been attacked. We do not know where they have gone, but they have not reported back in quite some time. So we've sent General Vera to investigate. Now...
Okay.
Is that the jester?
What?
Yes.
No, of course it's not. It's the jester?
Yes, General Vera. She is by far the strongest of our generals.
He's not very
Yes.
good with directions.
That is the problem, yes. The reason we sent General Vera is she's practically indestructible. So if she were to be ambushed, she would win surely. Rudgar and Venshen are strong, but they are not a match for an army in the way that General Vera is. However, General Vera gets lost very, very easily. We believe it's a curse, but we don't know how to solve it.
Maybe she should have like a guide with her or something.
That runs into the same problem as before. We don't know how many people they have. If I recall, there have been reports of an attack alongside Tuinching, no?
We got
Yeah.
attacked on our way.
Yeah.
Then we can only assume that the Viridian Knights are active in the region.
Yes. That's a fair assumption.
I've got reason to believe they're behind who attacked us, so yeah.
Then, therefore, we cannot send anyone that is incapable of defending themselves. Moreover, we must defend the capital, as our enemies are in our region. So I must have my generals with me. Then who better to send than the indestructible one?
Oh yeah, send me.
That makes
you mean the
sense.
General, right? Yeah.
Unfortunately, she is terrible with directions. So, now that we know that you are capable, we ask that you go there. From there, just follow the star map. Along
Oh,
the
yeah,
way,
that sounds easy.
link as many pyres as you can. Do your job as torchbearers. That's useful for Mistfell as well. And most importantly, if you encounter the Viridian Knights, they must be stopped. You've
All right.
already done it before. You can just do it again and again.
Yeah,
Until-
like whack-a-mole. Bonk, bonk, bonk.
Very well.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, we got like the best navigator, Gruul.
Yes, Gruul should be able to lead you through. If she is a member of the party that attended the Starcrest Temple. Gruul, do you know what happened there, or were you not involved?
Left me at Mistfell. Do not know.
Do not know. Very well. Vanshin. They have adrenaline, but they seem to be untrained in it. If you could.
Wait, we gonna like duke it out right here? I
No.
might break stuff. Oh,
I'll
okay.
take you to the training room first. Hello, I am General Vanshen.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
You're from Festival, right?
Yes, I'm from... Sorry, I just woke up. I'm from Festival, yes. So I'll be teaching you about how to fight.
Guys, I don't know if we're gonna learn much from him. I think we already passed him.
Oh, then.
I think
Maybe.
he's trying to trick us.
It could be. I don't know how strong you are. I'll have to assess you.
All of you make a saving
All
throw.
right. That's just a D20, right?
That's just
Well,
a
this is
d20.
50-50, so 17, easy.
18.
Oh, look at us, we're gods. Yeah, see, we're gods.
Well, at least you're capable of resisting.
None of you really know what happened, but you felt like something encroach on you, and you pushed it back instinctively.
Not bad at all. Alright, so you're not hopeless. Come with me to the training zone.
Buggle has pulled out notes and is writing observations on what just happened.
Don't worry, I'll explain what happened. Okay. We'll be going to my dojo. I will not really attempt to fight you, but I will explain some techniques that you're probably not familiar with.
We will be under your guidance.
Very well. So he takes you in the Crown District to his building. The generals all have buildings that they have independent of the military, where they can prepare things as necessary. His is very clearly Karaima. You realize, yeah, this guy's Karaiman. Of course he is. Like, he's the most Karaiman-looking guy you've ever seen. Karaima is, of course, fantasy Japan, for those who don't know.
He does dress like a samurai.
Yes.
I don't remember where that is on the map.
And
Other side of the world.
he takes you to a room which is lit by a skylight, which has a central, like, training facility in the middle, as well as like a target dummy you can shoot at. The room itself is largely barren, save for like the middle training area, which is quite large and has a symbol on it. A symbol that none of you are familiar with. Before we begin, I must say a prayer as is customary. To
Of course.
my majesty, the game master, may I find victory.
Is he literally praying to you, Pog?
No? He's praying to the game master.
Okay.
So, I will... Or
Oh, just like Goku.
Oh, it's got an aura. That's pretty cool.
right-click
When
your
do we-
character and toggle combat state.
Combat state. This.
Oh, that looks all weird now. Oh god, it's all broken for me now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I see broken image things, but
I bet if you refresh, it'll say you have to log in again. Because Forge is weird with it.
Jazz did the same thing as me. He pressed the AFK.
Yeah.
Am I in combat? I pressed the thing.
Should
You are.
be an orange
Yeah.
circle.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
outline.
All right, I'm gonna refresh and hope to fix those, but I am in the combat.
Right on.
Oh, you must log in.
Yeah, see, I told you. Anytime something breaks, it's like, oh, it's because authentication died.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
Session expired or whatever. Dong. Combat has started.
Loading back in.
So, as he gets ready and
I'm
takes up a position of combat, suddenly, like, see, like, him complete in how he carries himself. He is suddenly, like, a threat to you, and all of your stand up on it.
Does he have 4 actions?
Yes.
God.
So-
Alright.
I, of course, am not actually attempting to fight you. I'm just merely showing you what happens when you face up against an enemy of my class.
Do you have adrenaline too?
Yes, I have adrenaline. Specifically, I have advanced my cultivation to the point where I have what is referred to as legend class adrenaline.
Oh, there is a mechanic around legendary characters.
As you attempt to gain strength and defeat the forces of Salkro, you will fight enemies like me many, many times. We operate a bit differently. But first, let me teach you how to use your adrenaline.
There's no they're more resistant to my limit break.
I would like you to close your eyes and focus on the source of power inside you. Then, look at me and really attempt to read me. Above board, he is teaching you how to use Burst Sight. This is one action. When you Burst Sight an enemy, they must make a saving throw. If they fail the saving throw, you can learn their traits, abilities, or attributes. Who would like to go first?
Wait, pick.
Sure, I'll go.
All right.
So confident.
No.
You're an inspiration to us.
Vanshin is going to fail his saving throws on purpose. So, just select what you'd like to know.
Do we have this ability on our sheet anywhere, or?
Oh, good idea. I will add it in a bit. But in the meantime, while
So what were the options again?
actions, traits, or attribute.
Let's learn
What about
actions.
abilities?
That's what the actions are. Abilities, actions are interchangeable here. Okay. So actions in this case will let you know what he is capable of doing. So he has the following actions, as I'm just using a generic for this time. His generic actions are Pound, Battle Shout, Massive Impact, Hurl Boulder, Lash, Great Lash, Charge, and Juggernaut. Juggernaut is essentially just legendary resistance, so it clears a status, mark, or all blights affecting the character. So once per round, it'll clear like an ability. Pound is an example of an action, so this is one of his abilities that he does. And its combo is Battle Shout.
Huh.
So this is how this would work in a combat scenario. You would learn what abilities this guy has, and then you would know what they are ahead of time. Some of these are very important to know, as some bosses will have special mechanics associated to them.
Puzzle bosses.
Anshin at this point is just going to, on purpose, punch himself in the face, just so that you can... You mouse over, Vanshin. You can
You
now
scratch.
witness how damaged they are. So, who would like to attempt a burst sight next while I work on getting the burst sight going?
I'll try.
Okay. So this is
I will
one
use
action.
burst sight. Burst sight. And we know his abilities. What are the other
Attributes
possibilities?
and traits. So attributes will give you like how fast they move. Do they have armor? What is their AC? Can they move diagonally? That sort of thing.
Yeah, let's go with that. Attributes.
Okay. I've created a burst sight ability, and I'll just be adding it to people's token. So this is one action, right? So the advantage of it being one action is that you can just casually throw this out in a fight if you use like a one action. Here's like another thing that you can spend an action on. Very nice. But in this particular case, it has an extra value. So, if you can go ahead and click the burst sight ability that you should now have in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Burst sight.
Oh, it's not.
Nope. Not seeing it.
There you go. Sorry.
There it is. Oh.
Now,
Hold on, let me click him. Does it do anything, or does it just type that?
it just does that, but it lets everyone know
Okay.
that you've used it. Now, this is going to
Okay.
have this effect, which you are going to find particularly important. Watch this.
All right.
See his HPR?
You can see his HP bar.
Damn, he hit himself pretty damn hard for being scratched. Jeez.
That's correct. He hit himself for 70 damage.
What the fuck?
Legend class enemies have very large health bars. You will also learn that he has armor 3. He does 1d6 damage. His AC is 5. And his speed is 3. So he's a bit of a slow boy right now.
Okay. But I bet he picks up speed. I bet that's his thing.
His battle shield and stuff like pulls you in.
Ah.
And like wins you so you can't teleport and stun on days so you have less actions. So you get pulled in and can't really get away easily. But it looks a bit.
Oh yeah,
All right.
winded. That's that thing.
Clearly doesn't know I'm immune to being shoved before my turn happens.
Then, who would like to burst sight the last part?
Sure. What are his traits?
Okay. Now, traits, in particular, this guy is a legend, so he has this ability. He's got legendary heavy, so he gets 2 vigilances and armor 3. This guy is also sturdy. Oh, made Zephyr say it.
Nice.
He's got this one. And then he has this. Legend enemies will have phase transitions. There could be more, there could be less. The way you learn about phase transitions is through burst sight. I'm just giving this all to you to be kind, but normally in a battle, what will happen is, if you burst sight an enemy, I will tell you all the traits and all the abilities, and then from there you select one to learn. In this case, I'm giving you all of them.
Huh.
So you would see that this guy has great strength and phases, as well as the generic legend traits, legendary heavy, and so forth, which I'll give you for free every time. Similarly with attributes, I'll give you all the information. Attributes is really nice. But abilities, you're going to have to look to see what is massive impact. And then you look up massive impact and you go, oh no, this is fucking bad.
Oh, he gets 3 dice.
So, those are the boss mechanics for the most part, as well as how burst sight implies with them. But that's not all here.
Oh, wait, there's more.
So, I would like you to attempt to hit me.
And he uses a special ability that you can only get in this battle here, which is total BS, but he suddenly increases his defense to 15. Gruel, try to hit this guy.
Okay, what should I be doing here? Alright,
Just do an attack macro.
oh, okay, cool, sure.
Alright, his trait that gives him 15 defense temporarily and then back down to 5 after dodging an attack is gone.
Ooh.
So, this attack misses.
If an attack misses, you may use an adrenaline burst. I would like you to concentrate on this spark within you and activate it.
Above board, you know those efforts that you have? You may now use
Yep.
the efforts in combat.
Oh.
These will allow you to re-roll. You may not use an effort if you don't have any available. If you're out of effort, you can't use it in battle. If you choose to use your last effort in a fight to reroll something, which you are free to do so, you can reroll a hit or a saving throw. If you choose to reroll your last, then you will take slow turns for the remainder of combat.
Because you're exhausted, okay.
But this will help deal with the problem of I set up a big turn and now I've just missed everything.
That's good.
That was very good for me. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, there are some checks and balances here. You may only attempt this one time, and you may only attempt this for your own character.
Okay.
Fair.
So, Gruel, if you'd like to re-roll this, I'll give this to you for free as I don't want to take away your effort.
Sure. Ooh.
You know, it's not always picture perfect.
I see. The Game Master has favored me.
Now, you will notice after each of your turns that you have taken to read my abilities or attack me. I was able to move. Certain enemies are quicker than others. Cultivation exists such that skilled enemies fighting each other on the battlefield is like that. Furthermore, he punches himself. Once again. And as he punches himself, he is now bloodied.
We've almost done it. We're almost there.
We're winning. Smile.
Are you winning, son?
Finally, in the heat of battle, two enemies with adrenaline who stare each other down. There exists a miniature apotheosis between the two. This is referred to as a clash. To those who are afraid of a clash, I would recommend attempting to avoid it. But if you are willing to walk the path of the lion, then, only then, may you become king of the jungle. General Vanshin will attempt to clash on you, Oven. Above board, bosses have the ability to attempt to initiate one of these. If they do, you can choose to attempt to avoid it and take a save. If you fail the save, then you do not get to hit the enemy back. But if you accept the clash, you do hit them back. In either case, you will both hit each other once. Do you accept the clash?
This guy can do 70 damage. Why would I accept this clash?
Alright, attempt a saving throw to avoid being clashed.
Yeah.
Nice.
Alright. As he walks up to you and, attempts this, you back off suddenly, and you
Parry.
see... Yeah, you parry him. Good. The consequences of failing a clash can be dire. But the rewards can be very sweet. Above board, the way a clash works is as follows. Every legendary enemy has the clash mechanic. They may initiate a clash against you either as one of their actions, which this guy does not have, it's not one of his abilities, or as part of a phase transition, or something else. When a clash is initiated, you can attempt to avoid it. Avoiding a clash is done as a saving throw. If a clash is initiated and you accepted it, you both attack each other. If a clash is initiated and you fail the save, he gets a free hit on you. Then the clash begins. The clash is done in narrative combat. So, rewind the play 5 minutes and pretend you accepted this clash this time.
Okay.
Just so we can go over this mechanic. So, in this case, you will both hit each other. This is non-canon because you canonically avoided the clash, but we're just showing this off here.
What order does it happen in?
You
That
attack.
would
Um,
potentially matter.
it does in fact
rolled a
matter.
2.
The initiator will always get it.
Oh, that is his attack. I see. Wow, he
Yep.
actually missed me with that. I assume it's a heavy attack, or is it just a light attack?
This is
Okay.
Just don't roll a 1.
nice. Hit.
Oh, yeah!
The attack is reduced somewhat by his armor, but nonetheless, you hit him. Congratulations. Now, when you're in a clash, this begins a special type of combat, which is a clash narrative battle. So, you have initiated this fight.
Oops.
In a clash narrative battle, if you have any wounds, this will reduce your HP for the clash. For example, if you have 1 wound, you'll only have 3 hit points. If you have 2, you'll have 2 hit points, etc. Normally, you'll have 4. The battle begins as follows. First, I am going to GM roll my Academy stance here, which we kind of talked over briefly, but I'm just going to whisper it to the camera. No one stream snipe or I'm going to get really mad.
I'm switching tabs.
All right.
So-
Already sniped.
Oh my
Sorry.
god. So, you may select one of the 5 of combat. They are accurate, defensive. Accurate, quick, aggressive, defensive, and irrational. Work as follows. Aggressive beats quick, quick beats accurate, accurate beats defensive, defensive beats aggressive. And then irrational is, you can imagine. So, in these clash battles, the boss will usually be doing some sort of like narrative one-on-one. In this case, Vanshin is coming down on you with the precision of a military instructor. Select your attack rating, and then once you've done so, I will reveal what I have selected.
I would have just been defensive because I already was being defensive.
No. You probably want quick. He's coming down
I
on you
mean, yes,
precisely.
but Oven is not quick.
Okay.
So in this case, quick is basically you try to get the first strike. Aggressive is like, I'm going all in for the biggest hit. Accurate is, I'm going to follow principles and hold myself steady. And defensive is, I'm going to try to deal with whatever they're dealing with.
What if it's a tie? What if they both take the same thing?
Now, that's a good question. This particular clash is using standard combat, which is either smash or excel. The way a narrative battle works is if you win, then you get to select whatever action rating you want for this. For Oven, that's going to be smash, which is really nice.
For sure.
If your preferred action rating is also the action rating of the battle, then you get +1 or +2d rather for guessing correctly. Hooray! Now, if you guess wrong, so pick one of the responses, Oven, and let's see how you did.
All right, I'm picking defensive.
You're picking defensive. He was going accurate here.
Mhm.
So, as a result, the boss...
Should be even.
So, since accurate beats defensive, the boss gets to select which action rating you are rolling. That
Oh,
is
I
the
see.
penalty for failure. The reward for success is you select whichever action rating you want, or if your action rating is the basic action rating of the battle, you get a bonus. Finally, if you tie, so for example, if you'd select something like aggressive, which has no bearing on this fight, or if you also selected defensive, then you would just roll smash as normal, or excel. Does that make sense? I'll have a write-up of this as well.
Yeah.
But the basic idea is there's just an RPS. Now for irrational works as follows. You will flip a coin, and pick heads or tails. If you guess right, then you pick your action rating. If you guess wrong, then the boss picks your action rating. And in addition, you get plus 1d if you guess right, and minus 1d if you guess wrong. So it's
Very
literally
all or
just
nothing.
coin flip. Exactly. But anyways, the boss at this point, or rather, General Vanshin notices that you're being overly aggressive, and at this point goes at
Defensive, you
you.
mean?
Yes, you're being overly defensive, rather, and at this point just hits you with a barrage of attacks, and it's going to select your Endure roll.
Okay.
Hey.
I just roll straight up, or
Yeah, you roll Endure.
Position?
Position in this case is just going to be, as in any boss battle, desperate.
That's okay.
But it doesn't especially matter, because here we're just trying to do narrative combat. Hey, partial success. Partial success is nice, because you get to choose if you take no damage, or if you both hit each other.
Wait, what?
So, right now, you have 4 clash hit points, because you don't have any wounds, right?
Right.
The boss has 4 clash hit points. So you can choose to deal 1 damage to yourself and the boss, or take 0 damage. That's partial success. Failure is you take 1 damage.
Does that damage carry over past this combat?
No.
Alright, let's do one-on-one. Trade
1-on-1.
blows.
Alright.
He thinks he's got me, but it was a
Alright.
trap all
You
along.
cross counter. Nice, nice. Alright, I've selected. Go ahead and pick yours.
I guess I'll take it out too.
You see
let's
the
be-
Vanshin at this point is pressing this, like just going in aggressive tie. It's smash. Let's see your smash rating.
Desperate.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
1 damage, no penalty. All right.
Do I always
You
get a
see-
read on what he's doing?
Oh, my apologies. He was also doing aggressive. It took a while.
No, I just mean like, because you were giving descriptions and
Yes.
I was intentionally not, falling into those.
That's
but,
correct. You will be getting descriptions. They're not always going to be this simple.
Right.
I'm going to attempt to mask the dueling a little bit more than this. But at this point, Vanshin realizes that you're going in for aggressive attacks and shifted his stance, and he's holding the sword closer into himself.
So I'm gonna go for accurate.
Oh no! Wait, what? I selected the wrong one. I meant to reveal to everyone and not delete. Haha! This is an example of a boss attempting to trick you.
Uh-huh.
So, this time, he is going to try something different. He is going to overwhelm your slow and methodical approach to combat with, like, big punches by just, like, zooming around you, and is going to attack your Excel.
Okay. This is not going to be good. Unless I just roll double sixes.
Failure. You take 1 damage. 2-2.
Alright.
Alright, one more. At this point, he is just going all in, and he has a sense for, like, what you are weak against, and is not even trying trickery. Just straight up raw power.
Then I just want to defend, I guess. I'll go defensive.
Nice. Alright, you have read him. I imagine you want to roll with plus 2d in this point.
I would.
Let's see the smash.
With plus 2d. Desperate. Success.
Critical success
Don't
deals
roll.
2 damage. Now, You've won this mock duel. Why would you do a duel in the first place? So, the reason why you would accept a clash is because if you succeeded the clash, you get +1 activation for the rest of the combat.
What's +1 activation?
What is one activation?
Oven, you now move twice.
Oh.
Oh,
For the rest
you get an
of
extra
combat?
turn.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Specifically the rest of the combat phase, but in this case the boss only has 2 phases, so you know that this will work for the rest of the combat.
Okay, so you could, if you clashed in phase 1, and then once we took him to phase 2 and he powered up, you wouldn't have that extra action anymore.
Right.
Or that extra turn anymore. Okay.
Now,
It's just a movement action, right?
No,
No,
it's
you get
turn.
another
it's
turn.
full
Oh, a
turn.
whole nother turn. Ah.
now if you fail, the boss gets another action. So, that
Quite
is the
swinging.
danger of these clashes. And so, those are our boss mechanics.
So will clashes only use Smash and Excel?
Nope, that was just the rating for that fight. But that's not necessarily the case.
Oh.
So, for example, in a heated battle against, like, your brother might attempt to start a verbal clash with you, and then use charm and command. A battle of wizards might use a combination of smash and study, for example.
Okay.
So it will depend on the context of the fight, but there's always going to be a
I
choice of 2.
didn't understand what you meant by, what's the word?
Default action
activation.
ratings?
Yeah, action rating. I didn't know what you meant by that, but it's just 2 of those skills.
Right. And if you win,
Okay.
you can select
Got it.
whatever you want. So, for example, Gruul might, in that fight against Vanshin, decide to use sneak, like just suddenly pull like a switch maneuver and then get the hit on them.
So players can initiate clashes?
Only bosses can initiate clashes.
Okay.
That's important.
Yes.
'Cause otherwise
Okay.
it gets degenerate.
Right.
Wait, so who determines what picks the rating?
The determining factor is who wins the selection of a caddy. So
Who wins rock, paper, scissors?
Exactly.
Which part of that was this?
So remember when Oven was selecting
Oh.
defensive, aggressive, etc.?
Okay. Yeah, it just happened to be that we only used Smash and Excel here.
We used Endure once, too.
Oh, okay. So it's not just okay. That's where my confusion was.
Yes, so the boss, if the boss wins, I'm going to select
I got it
something
now.
that
Yeah.
screws you over.
Sorry, I thought it was like for the whole clash, but it's like per thing.
Exactly. You got
Okay, I got it now.
So it's just sort of like a brief narrative battle, and then the winner gets a huge bonus for the remainder of the boss battle. And
Yeah.
Shrike, for Oven specifically, this is the thing that's going to make your slow turns work really well. If you can get this off in a boss battle, suddenly split heaven and hell pretty good.
Any 2-turn stuff you can now do essentially in one round.
Yep. So, like, for Oven specifically, this lets you, like, if you clash with a boss and you win, then you can, like, take your turns after everyone else, and then just, like, set up for yourself. You win the clash, and then you just destroy the boss. And just burn through that phase.
Well,
I've seen
this is
clash
interesting
mechanics
because
and like burst sight stuff done before. I think you've done it better than what I've seen done, at least.
Let's go!
Because before it was always player initiated, and what would happen was you do that because it was just better, straight up better than anything on your character sheet. It was terrible.
Yeah, with this one, it's going to be like a phase transition type thing. Like, and the bosses are going to, like, genuinely matter to you. Like, it's not going to be the boss is like some guy that you just met like 5 minutes ago. The boss is going to be like someone you've been trying to deal with for a long time.
Right.
Yeah, it's a way to get a little bit of narrative action into these combat sequences. But yeah, I've also seen similar mechanics done before, and I avoided the pitfalls. But anyways, there we are. Let's now have a 10-minute break.
All right.
All right,
Go
I'll
get
be
some
back.
water. I'll click the AFK thing. All right, back in 10. Probably before that. loose ends with them.
No, everyone forgets they ever exist.
Hello.
Hello.
I've been listening to NADPOD, and they do totally theater of the mind. Like, they don't have anything set up or whatever.
Wow.
It's like, hey, am I within 30 feet? Am I within 60 feet? You know, how many guys can I hit with this?
My first ever Pathfinder
And I think
game
it
was
works.
like that.
I
I did
think
not
it
like
works.
that play at all.
I think it works well for podcasts because
For
he does
podcasting.
edit it up, but it frees up a lot of like, oh, am I in range to do this? Let me measure this.
And they have to
I think it just
describe
helps.
the scene a whole lot more, so people just listening
Yeah.
can know.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically getting the same experience as the players.
The problem
Correct.
with Theater of the Mind is that it's not good. But
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
make it,
I would not want to play it, but I think it works excellently with NADPOD.
I did it once. And
I can
didn't
see,
do it
I
again.
can absolutely see its advantages now. Like, I didn't see them before, but now I do. I still would never want to play that way. I need to see something
all right, welcome
with
back,
my
everyone.
eyes.
At this point, General Vanshin, having completed his main training, suddenly gets really tired again. Well, good job.
That was
Very
informative.
insightful.
More changes. These are. I'm just kind of looking at my hand. I realized I was just doing that in person, but this is a lot. This is more.
Whenever
It's,
people
but is this the end of it?
you'll get a lot stronger. It's always been like that. Whenever people with adrenaline saw each other in battle. And they do. You see, those of us with adrenaline have a tendency to attract one another. It's the law of adrenaline, and why so many people choose to try to get rid of theirs. If I don't have adrenaline, then monsters will stop showing up in my path all the time.
Does that work?
Yes, you can get rid of your adrenaline.
Really? Not that I want to. Does that mean? How does that work?
Does that
What
mean
is-
by existing with adrenaline, you cause conflict to happen?
That is one interpretation, yes. However, it is not your fault. In the depths where all souls go, our souls are connected through dreams, through other things. Similarly, those of us with adrenaline understand, in time, our power stems from a greater well. We are not the only people with this power, and when I say this power, I'm not referring to adrenaline. You possess a spirit of adrenaline within you. That spirit is connected to many other people across the world, across history. In a way,
Does
we-
each spirit have a name or something?
we do not know. All we know is that Bale is somehow able to keep track of who each spirit is somehow. They're different, but connected. If you would like to abandon this life, all you have to do is go to the depths and give up your adrenaline there. Of course, going into the depths is easier said than done. Going out alive is harder still.
And I'm sure there are consequences for such a thing.
None. It is a good way to retire if you're tired of this life. But you have to become strong enough to fight your way into the depths and come out again.
And come out without adrenaline, because you won't have it on the way out.
Getting out. Reportedly, if you fought a way through, not that I've tried.
I
Above
guess you
board,
kind of cleared the way.
if you would like to retire a character, and you have made it to Chapter 2, you can do so. Also, your spirit of adrenaline is connected to other characters. If you've played another campaign before, of any of my campaigns, you may have powers available to you that other people may not have. For example, Zephyr could potentially gain resonance. Just for one example.
Which is that icon thing?
Remember Resonance? The Warhammer of Resonance?
Yeah, it's the same thing as that.
It would be similar, yes.
Similar, yeah. 1d4 might be a bit powerful.
1d4 would be so wild. No, I was thinking just
Yeah,
like
in the
1
system,
damage.
yeah.
But the point is, you have essentially like a through line, which is your spirit of adrenaline. And what this means is, for example, Lord of Hats has the ability Magic Missile, which is a custom ability and icon. Theoretically, if Dougal were to be eaten by a tarantula, the next character could get Magic Missile. That's the idea behind it. It's called Inherited Will.
Is it only for the Luskalia campaigns?
I will extend it to Faith as well, because the other campaigns in Luskalia that will be coming up at some point had a prequel campaign.
What about Calamity now?
Oh my god. Yeah, sure.
I
Why
mean,
not?
it is technically the same world as Faith.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, why not? Shrike, you can get a gun scythe if you want.
Don't tempt me with that.
Oh, that's what you were asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I get
We've got two
can I
of
get my
past characters.
can I get my exalted shard thing that gives me 6 bonus
The Blade of
bonus
Lark?
actions?
No,
It was
but...
it was Atla's stone.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah, no,
exalted thing was I could get up to 6 bonus actions if I used all the charges.
You may attempt a personal ambition to find the Hat of Hats.
Oh.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Welcome to Inherited Will,
Oh.
baby.
Oh my!
You don't
God.
know why you want it.
The
you
Hat of
just want
Hats.
it.
The Hat of Hats, still to this day, my favorite magic item. Loved that
And
item.
now you've got the Lord of Hats in your party.
Yeah. I think I
You
deserve
don't
that
live
item.
up to it. You don't, no, you don't deserve it. I barely deserve
Oh,
it.
those are fighting words.
You don't know the significance of the Hat of Hats.
But
Lander.
Cast both.
yeah,
I
this
attack Dougal. Heavy attack.
this is just sort of to provide like continuity between characters in the campaigns you have.
That's another thing Arcadium did,
Wow.
but differently.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just like the idea of New
I'll
Game
start
Plus.
thinking about
That's
what-
basically what it was. So you have D&D New Game Plus.
I think it's just, these are things that come up when you do like a living world type deal.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
You have a bunch of different campaigns all in the same world.
And so, General Vention steps back a little bit. The nature of our powers has changed, but the fundamental underlying mechanics behind them remain the same. When you see an enemy with adrenaline, this will happen. Now, as I'm sure you're all aware, our powers have been magnified as of late. This is good.
When did it happen for you?
Overnight a few days ago.
Wait, and you
Same
already know
with
all
us.
this.
This is all old. What's different is our abilities.
It's because this was an adrenaline demonstration.
Now, what is different? The reason why I'm so afraid for the people of this world is something old. We've known for years now the amount of God's chosen, people like us with thoughts, walking around, etc., souls, made of ether or what have you, are outnumbered 1 to 9 by monsters with adrenaline. these monsters have gotten the same power upgrade.
So the power disparity grows.
All over the world,
He nods.
monsters
Wait, does that
and
mean
people.
the weird skeletons we fought had adrenaline?
No,
It's
no,
possible.
they were just. Oh,
If your powers awaken in this fashion, then you have encountered something with adrenaline. This is why,
Does that mean-
Torchbearers, your job is more important now than ever.
What about people? Just normal people? Or is this kind of awakening happening to others? How are people gonna fight off these powered up monsters?
they're not.
Sorry, are you saying that they have adrenaline but not the new icon powers?
What he's saying above board is just certain monsters have adrenaline and certain monsters do not have adrenaline, right?
Okay.
Monsters with
Alright.
adrenaline you would fight using the tactical combat. Monsters without adrenaline are so weak they'd be handled by narrative combat. And what that means is effectively you can basically
Oh.
roll like Smash and just be like, I kill 1,000,000 skeletons. And I'll be like, okay.
1,000,000.
We actually did a competition in the Hunters game like that, where I had everyone roll like 1d100 to see how many skeletons they killed.
How many skeletons did the winner kill?
It was
Did anyone kill like 3 skeletons?
At least 3.
I think the lowest is like 40 something. Do you remember, Jazz?
No, I do not.
I know Jazz was like near the bottom.
That's cool because before I learned that you can only like trigger a slay effect once, I was looking at some of my abilities where I was like, if I encounter like 1,000,000 rats, they just all ran past me, I could kill them all in a turn. But
The idea is essentially that
Yeah.
facing off against someone with adrenaline sparks your power up in that fashion, right? Remember, when you entered the skeletons on the road, you had this power, and then when the fight ended, it drained away.
okay. So they are not. So the change and adrenaline are not the same, but they are linked.
Correct.
It's more like things that had adrenaline
there's
before were like times
Yeah.
5 power. Now they're times 50 power.
Okay.
How do you deal with something that's now 10 times stronger than it was before? If you're just a regular soldier.
More to the
Yeah.
point, it's closer to like things that were times 5 are now times 10. But when two things that are times 10 meet, they're now times 50.
Right, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's not like what I was envisioning. Like suddenly these monsters are 10 times stronger and they'll ravage
Not all monsters.
every small town.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's a few monsters and they're maybe twice. What did you say? Twice as 5 times as stronger against a normal person. About.
Yeah, and I can explain why that happens
The rich get
mechanically
richer.
in a cool way. So, here's this ability that Dougal has. Principia Magimatica.
What an amazing name.
If this ability was then there would be no point in this ability, and he would just have this all the time.
Yeah.
The start of combat engages this power up.
Yeah. It's the bit of ramp up.
Okay.
You aren't at full power if you aren't against someone with adrenaline.
Right.
You're very strong.
Okay. Yeah, I can make sense of that.
Literally, the powerful monsters got more powerful. The regular monsters stayed the same.
Yep.
All right.
We raised the roof, you could say.
So we have more of a time for heroes now than ever.
I've given you this training so that you wouldn't be caught dead on the water. Now, one final word of advice.
You may use Burst Sight on anybody at any time to learn their true name. You may also learn what they intend to do immediately next with Burst Sight. It's a powerful
Well,
ability.
Wow.
I use Burst Sight on Dougal.
Dougal, make a saving throw.
What is he gonna do next?
Uh,
Oh shit, he made it.
So Burst Light will effectively let you know if the boss has like a special ability, like they're taking a slow turn, for example. If they're taking a slow turn, it will tell you what they're doing on a slow turn.
Dougal turns to him. I can tell that you're doing that, and so can anyone else.
I wanted to know what you
That's
were doing next.
Probably kind of an aggressive thing to be doing out of nowhere.
That is correct.
I use Burst Sight on Oven.
Alright. You can't tell what I'm gonna do next. I'm an enigma.
I wanted to know your true name.
Those with adrenaline are capable of resisting this, and they will know if you are attempting it. So you may attempt this on any person that you see. My recommendation is that you do not. It's a good way to start an argument.
Oh, that's fun.
Now very tired. I would like to go to
We
bed
could
now.
use it. We could use it as like a long-range communication thing. Like we'd have to see each other, but like we could stand on like two distant hilltops.
You can
Work
sense
out,
that
like, a
someone's
code.
burst sighting you.
Yeah.
Burst sight me if you see an enemy. Yeah.
Yeah. Burst sight me in Morse code to tell me a message. Oh, it feels so weird. Stop it.
We might be abusing mechanics here.
You are abusing the mechanics far less than Tim does in the Hunters game.
Uh,
Bet.
Like 100 times less.
now I want to know what he does.
He burst sights every single person. Like,
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
there have been multiple battles that have been caused as a result of this. But anyway, now you know that there is some sort of a danger to all this.
Would, do regular people recognize that you're doing this?
No.
So this could also be a way to determine if someone has adrenaline.
There
Yeah,
you go.
try and piss them off in the process.
I mean, yes, like there's a crowd, and like I want to see if anyone here has adrenaline, so I'm going to use Burst Sight on everyone.
Just one by one.
All right, everyone.
It's a
You
way
will,
to find assassins. That's kind of cool.
you will all be given 3. That's right, 3 dust.
Hey, that's a
On
lot.
top of
That's
what
a
we
lot
got?
of money. That's a lot of money. They're giving this to you as essentially like the entire travel provisions that you have. So you all have 3 dust now.
4. Don't we?
Four.
Didn't we
'Cause we
already have one?
yeah.
And
A lot of dust between us.
that's correct. You'll be able to use this to spend on abilities and such for your camp and your cart. For camp and
Oh,
cart.
yeah.
Or you can try to save it and maybe you find a relic at some point in the near future. Those are mechanics that we'll come to in a little bit. But let's go to the map of Hinklia here. Because we need to discuss the plan. The next expedition will eventually end up going to the Starcrest Temple. That's what they want you to do. But how do you intend to get to the Starcrest Temple?
Oh, we could go back to Mistfell.
Is that we could go up the river if we really
Oh no,
wanted
it's
to.
is it on the other side?
It's on the other side of Mistville. Yeah, we were discussing this last session
What?
before we stopped.
Mhm.
We could go
It's on the
Facebook.
other side of the
The Hop
Would it be
Sufe
easier
range,
to?
yeah.
Oops. Hold
we
on.
still have to
I
do our
need
mission of connect
Yeah,
cities.
it was Face Park Grove,
we
Kura.
don't actually have a reason in game to go to Face Park Grove right now.
Well, don't we
Wouldn't
want
we have to go around?
Yeah, that's where the temple is.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
temple is
So-
between us and the temple is, I guess, a little bit of.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
if we went
I'm
straight
dumb.
there, yeah.
I'm dumb. Never mind.
Mhm.
I'm really dumb. Wow.
But if we wanted to
So
connect
That's Ted
other
saying that, not
cities,
Dougal.
Isn't there a mountain pass?
Now, the idea that was brought forward initially was this.
well, yeah, we were assuming that we'd have a reason to go to the Face Swag.
Then take the path this way. That's a 23-day example. You can also skip the face spark completely, but this is 23 days. The direct route, as you can see here,
16 days.
this is 16 days. The most direct and also the most dangerous route goes like this. Now, it says 9 days, but it's going to be much more than that because you are going through the Hauptstufe range. You are not going to easily be able to go through the Hauptstufe range. So, to
My
that
I
reason-
think
end,
we
it's
have
a
to
bit
keep
too
up
soon
appearances.
to return home.
our beloved guide, could you kindly roll traverse here?
We'll traverse to determine which path we take.
Study first and then traverse on the path itself. So, I believe, Dougal, you're the guide.
Yep.
So, Dougal, you can begin with a study to learn about these routes.
Are you good at these things?
Dougal can
You're
study,
good at study.
not too good at first, but this would be where our scout would come into play. Okay, success. You learn about the dangers of each of these, but you don't get very specific dangers. So you won't learn...
Oh, I'm good at investigating the dangers.
Alright, so the 3 options that are being discussed here are to go through shelling and everything, and then get a bunch of different... along the way, go to shelling and, light some torch along the way. Pretty nice. The other option is to go up through the river, the Wenching River, go to Mistfell, and climb the mountain. Then, finally, the last option that was brought forward is to go up through Festivale, go to Penzi, and then go to the Starcrest Temple that way. So, the desert route. What you would know about the desert route, Dougal, is that right now there is actually a harvest festival for the dates in the Shelling Oasis. Or the Eldonian Oasis, not the Shelling Oasis. Hooray! You may want to visit this festival because it's apparently quite famous around the world. You would also know that there is a strange rumor going around in Winching of an unusual looking Thaxtegian man who is looking for some sort of a temple in the desert. So that's what you were able to dig up through studying and looking around. Now, going through the Hauptstufe range, you would know that if you try to climb the mountains, which you can certainly attempt to do so, there are, in fact, rumors of dragons being sighted on top of the Hauptstufe range, which is why so many people don't do that.
Yeah, let's not do that.
What, you don't want to slay dragons?
No!
Finally,
Dougal the Dragon Slayer.
Oh, yeah.
finally, going through Festivale and Pensy might be nice, but you do know that the Penjin Highlands are mostly uninhabited. The reason why they're mostly uninhabited is on account of the whole giant problem in the Penjian Highlands.
Oh, giants. I like
Pansy
giants.
are known as giant slayers, and they deal with the giants, and as a result, they are given a lot of rights by the capital of Winching, essentially. You deal with our giant problem, we give you tax money. Please get rid of the giants for us. Thank you.
Rude. Giants just want to live.
I like the desert route. You know, it takes a bit longer, but going to a harvest festival, something I haven't done in a long time.
Well, we're
And-
also, torchbearers, so we need to connect Mistfell to a bunch of different places. And we need to show the world that we are doing that and that Mistfell's great and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We gotta
So,
keep up
yeah,
our cover
basically-
story at the very least.
Basically going back to Mistfell and then past it, it seems too soon to return home, don't you think?
I think the desert route is the best one.
I should also
Like,
point
that gets
out,
us...
the desert pass goes like this. You see? through this hex.
Like, it gets us very close to the temple.
Like you can do this.
Right.
Okay.
And through your investigation, you would find out, Dougal, at this point, that the Shelmaritian priests took the desert route as they saw it as the least dangerous.
Yeah, like, if we're going to find a sign of the Shelmaritian priests, it would be on that route. And I don't want to get any closer to Tetheria than I have to. Really?
Did we... I can't remember if we established this when we were making the place. Are there wolfkin living in the desert?
There are.
Nice. I almost played a wolfkin monk. I just couldn't find a monk I would enjoy playing.
They've got libraries or something as well? I don't remember.
Yeah, they're like nomadic librarians. Or at least that's how I was imagining them. I don't know how much of that was after the fact and I came up with and never told anyone.
Well, I thought of it too, so it must have been mentioned at least. But yeah, we have to keep up appearances. We have to spread Mistfell's name. We want to be connected to as many Aether things as possible. We want the roads to be safe, especially since monsters are powered up now.
Mm-hmm. And there's a river right before we enter the desert where we can absolutely get enough water for the journey.
We should consider buying stuff here too. Knowing that
some
we're going
barrels
to go to a desert. Yeah.
Barrels, desert wear. I probably just need a hood.
There might be a good camp fixture for this.
Oh.
I think there was survival stuff. Survival gear.
Do you know what page that is, the camp?
225.
Alright.
I just scrolled to it, so yeah. Knives, tanning racks, cooking spits, climbing gear, and supplies for wilderness survival. That sounds exactly what we need for going through a desert and then mountains.
Survival gear? Yeah.
Okay.
Costs 6 dust. So
that just looks like a good one to have in general.
So
it's plus 1 to diverser sense ratings, which is good for everybody.
So we're going the desert route in that case?
Yeah, I think we all.
So we'll go down to Furrow.
It's the longest, but I think it's. I mean,
and we. I don't think we got any reason to do the Face Park Grove detour.
Not yet.
It'd be cool to check out, and
it's close to home. We'll go there eventually.
Yeah, but right now there's no reason to it. This way we get a couple of pings along the way, doing our job, and we also don't have to go to Festival. So,
all right.
Yeah, fuck those guys. Even though their general was kind of nice, he earned my respect.
Yeah, canonically, remember you did avoid this.
Yeah.
But in that case, Dougal, go ahead and give me a study check for the entire journey. Due to the length...
can we finish up some ambitions in town before we leave?
We'll get there. We just have to chart the journey.
Okay.
I also want to know, like, what we would encounter along the
way. Ooh!
Oh my god.
Who rolled that?
The Torchbearers, so...
whoops.
That's fine. So, in this case, good for you. I will give you 3 choices here.
All right.
So here they are. So 3D to add to any roll throughout journey. So you get a pool of 3 dice that you can add, like, arbitrarily. Just stockpile some dice in case you get some bad D6 rolls. You can also add +1 camp,
What
Or-
does that do?
Plus,
What does that mean?
so in this journey of 23 days, you will go through all these hexes. You
Oh,
get
you-
a free camp at Shelling because Shelling is a huge city.
Oh,
However, on the road, you do not get free camps. You have a limited number of camps that you have.
How many camps
what,
do we
do
normally
we know
have?
what the number is now?
Normally, you would have 3 camps, so you can increase that number to 4. Or sorry, normally you have 2. You'd increase it to 3. My bad.
Okay.
I'm a fool.
I mean, that's pretty decent.
It's pretty good. Add another camp. Sounds good. Priority on every combat encounter. What this means is you can select where you deploy yourselves.
Ooh. On every encounter?
On
I mean,
every random combat encounter. When I say combat encounter, I mean random through like the
That's
rolls,
right.
right? Like if you choose along the way, like you decide to like do the Oasis quest or whatever, and you have to go to like the Oasis temple or whatever, you will not get priority for the entirety of that quest, for example. This is just like you get mugged on the road, you have priority. Because
Right.
Dougal has really looked at the books on this one here.
He's pre-planned everything.
That's
Found
actually
like a topographical map, and
We've got reports of bandits in this area. We should probably be ready for bandits.
yeah, that's actually like the most in character thing for Dougal at this exact moment. Also, just
He
like
would, yeah.
pulling an all-nighter,
This is a
studying
problem.
every
this
possible
is a
thing.
problem. I know. I'm familiar with this. I'm hitting the books. I'm good at this.
With that in mind, I think I will go with priority on every combat encounter. Of Dougal wants to be aware that so many things could be going wrong because there's so many things that are going wrong. I need to know all the things that can go wrong specifically on this trip.
Right on.
Do not want to be surprised by new horrible things.
All right, I like it. So that's going to be our path. We're going to be going up through the forest. We're going to be skipping the Space Spark Grove. There will be a temporary rest at Koro, which is a free camp, but that doesn't really matter at all, does it? Who cares?
It's unlikely to matter.
Yeah, just making the
Even if we
user
get one
connection.
comment in between, it's, whatever.
And then there is a free camp. And that will be the next few sessions. This begins to Stardust Temple. But
Hooray!
we have downtime, because you must spend 1 week attuning to the winching crystal.
Nice. That's plenty of
Did
time.
we not do that already?
We just got to winching.
Oh, you're right.
But we did the downtime with the vest and the...
That was like
Um,
our first. That was like, okay, we're here. Let's take care of some errands. when we
Okay,
first
so
get
if
here.
we've got another downtime, then I won't say no.
Yeah, I'm with it. Speaking of downtime, let's do a quick flashback. Jazz, do you have any idea for what you want to do during the downtime? The first downtime one.
Can I see the map of winching, actually? Can we transition to that? May as well, I think, right?
Transition.
We're
Did you love it? Did you like it?
going to be there for a week, so yeah. Where is the crystal in Winching located?
Good question. Where do we want it to be?
How public would
I'd
Aether
imagine it'd
Crystal be?
probably be an old town, right?
that would make the most sense because it'd probably be
I
in
still
the
see the world
original.
I was just
Spark.
gonna say I don't see the
Oh,
horses
there
down
it is.
town road.
Oh, it's
Okay.
taking a while. There we
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, I cancel the lightning storm.
yeah. What
Oh,
if
that's
it was
weird.
like
I guess
here
I
or something,
don't
like by
have
the end or something.
rain. Okay, I don't have
that
rain turned
clearing.
off, but it was only showing up in like the water. That was weird.
I definitely think one of these like open areas is the coolest place. I think for a crystal, right? Or
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
like in the middle of right here.
Yeah, it would have to be an old town, because wouldn't
The town would have been
city
built
build
around it.
around
everything's
it?
built around
Yeah.
the old town. Yeah, that's why they call it Old Town. That makes sense.
So like wherever the N is. Be a good spot for the
Yeah, that looks like it's
Aether
an open
Crystal.
spot.
The harbor.
God, the pings are so much better.
Big pings in the chat.
I feel like they trigger a little too quickly, though.
For
Yeah.
what are they called? Things we want to accomplish during downtime?
Ambitions.
Ambition. Are you able to work toward 2 ambitions? Like if you finish one, can you work on another one?
No.
Or is it all or okay?
You can have multiple ambitions active at a time. Like, Dougal had Learn Advanced Dreamwalking active, but spent last one doing the What the Heck is Up with Magic. But you can't
have
work on multiple.
2 short ambitions going at the same time either, right?
Correct.
Are these ambitions intended to be finished within this downtime, or can they be long term?
No, they can be longer term.
But they can also be ones that are okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Is Timber Street? I suspect that's named that because there's a sawmill or a lumber yard somewhere in that area.
Yeah,
or...
that is correct. It would be right here, I would. Like over at the top is where the sawmill would be, just away from the town.
Cool.
That was
Because it probably
Okay.
smells, yeah.
Would it be a realistic
It
sort
smelled
of?
good.
Would it be a realistic sort of ambition for a druid to wonder if they see a lumber yard or something, to see if it's like if the people there are sustainably cutting down the trees and not like completely clear cutting the forest? Is that a thing?
I think it would be. I'd say this would be a larger ambition of just because this is also like a personal growth as well, right?
True.
So I think part of this is like you growing as a druid to like being able to recognize things like this quicker.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Actually, I could write that down into my character sheet. So the clocks themselves on the sheet, those are the ambitions, correct?
Right. So the blue ones are going to be your ambitions, and the red ones are your burdens.
Okay. I know that I didn't really get to read all the messages this morning. I know that it was scuffed for Matt. Matt, you did something to fix it, apparently, like all the dots, like where their positionings.
Oh, I just refreshed and logged in again.
The positioning was off for me, but
Refresh.
is it off for you now?
I refreshed and it asked me to log in again. I logged in again. It was everything was
Wait.
fixed.
I'll just do that.
Jess, are the positions all wrong for you?
Yeah, they've almost
Are
always.
you on Chrome?
I'm on Firefox. Is that why?
Really? For me, it's when I'm on Chrome they're all fucked up.
Here, let me try it.
But on Firefox, it's fine.
I could try
Exactly. Get on Safari.
I don't know. I use Chrome just for this, and it's fine.
And I was about to go back to Internet Explorer, but apparently they shut it down.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Edge
for
now.
good reason.
They didn't want to support 2 different browsers, right?
I mean, Edge is just Chromium, so.
I miss the old 404 page, whatever, from Internet Explorer.
Why?
It just was more detailed. It told you shit.
No, Windows has repeatedly just reduced how much information it gives you. Like if you blue screen of death, it just gives you a smiley face or a frowny face.
Yep, I hate that.
To give Microsoft credit for once, actually, apparently Edge is like one of the fastest browsers. Like
I've heard
because
Edge
it doesn't really have any
built.
features. To be honest, it's just stripped down Chromium. So
yeah, that's fair.
A lot could be useful.
All right.
if you don't want like a bunch of add-ons and stuff, and you just want to browse the web and get a shitload of ads, and yeah, okay, Chrome is fine. Or
different browser fixed it for me. Thank you, Blix. Okay. All right, I will write this down as so under blue. What size clock do you think this would be, Pog?
I think this is 6.
6. Write this down as following druidic responsibilities, maybe. That's a succinct way of putting it down. Is one ambition fine then, or should I come up with another?
Well, you're going to be getting 2
One is fine.
downtimes here, so feel free to do 2. Normally you get 1, but I figured, like, why not do 2?
True.
But like, if it's something like limited to the area you're in, you might want to just focus on that one. Like if you're just focusing on the sustainability of the one here.
Well, the idea is falling up on druidic responsibility. So even if it's like,
Okay,
we gotta move.
You went more general with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Pog's idea, which is a good one.
Okay.
Are there like temples here?
There are a few. Mostly, this place worships Lilantora primarily. There is a temple that was set up by General Vanshin in regards to General's infamous love of the Game Master. So there are some Fey temples as well, and I believe there'd be like one. I'm actually just going to roll here.
Wow.
I meant to do 1d6, but I'll do 1d5 and then cross one off. Let's see. Alright, there is a small demonic temple to Eutalia as well. Then-
Demonic.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The demons in Luskalia are not necessarily bad. I think the devils are, though, right? Or
No.
So demons and devils both range from essentially like lawful neutral to lawful evil, and for the devils, and chaotic neutral to chaotic evil for the demons, respectively.
it's a Dark Lords I was thinking about. They are more or less like completely evil, or
Yeah, you will not see
The
a temple to Dark
princes?
Lords.
What are they called again? The princes? What were they?
The demon kings. Those guys.
Demon king.
For example, this one would be
Yeah.
a temple to Eutalia, and not bad really at all. I'd say at the time, but so 33% of the time, extremely bad. But that's where the witches go, so it's basically like a temple for witches, essentially.
Okay, I think a cool thing would be to another ambition. So like the way I'd imagine Gruel's state of mind or knowledge of the world would be very probably deep in a few tiny areas. So like stuff related to Shalmaris, stuff related to druidic vows or circles rather, stuff like that. So maybe something to do with broadening Gruel's understanding of culture and religion.
Okay.
I don't know how to word that. And I guess that would be like a longer term ambition on the far end.
Yeah, that'd be and I think not even like completing it would like you complete it. That doesn't mean you've completed the overarching goal step toward.
Okay, cool.
So I think like learning, I'd say world culture would be a good way to put it.
Yeah, world culture. Yeah, cool. And yeah, those are the two. Then thank you.
All right. So before you went on this meeting with the queen, what would you have focused on?
Oh, myself still. I think I would go to the lumberyard.
Okay. And what action rating would you use here? How are you approaching this?
Okay, so how exactly are the action? How exactly do action ratings work again?
What-
Sorry.
What skill do you think you would use?
How are you approaching this?
I guess I would go to the area and use some form of either charm or command to talk to the animals there and see what they think of the cutting.
Okay. I'd say that'd be command.
Okay. Should I go ahead and roll that now, or?
Yep.
Okay, is that controlled or?
This is
What did he command?
Oof!
Holy
Oh,
crap.
shit!
The odds are not.
A
Wow.
lot of critical successes.
Crit success.
that was
alright.
a 0
1 in
point crit
36.
success.
Like 0 point.
Yeah, I don't have any commander charm.
All right, that's gonna.
Oh!
That's
That was a 0d6.
What
Yeah.
the fuck? Really? What? You can't
Oh
crit
my
success if you don't have a
God.
point in it. You can't.
If
Doesn't
it's
let you.
controlled, I guess it lets you do another. But yeah.
so. Add 4 to this clock here. You are able to talk with a number of animals. One of which is a deer nearby. The deer walks up to you. Oh, good. It's been a while since one of your talking apes approached.
Walking apes.
Talking apes.
Oh,
Gruel would like sort of like fix her fur like coat up, like tighten it, and then turn and point to maybe like one of the foremen giving like orders to people on the lumber yard, or someone operating one of the machinery to like cut a log in half or whatever, and speak up and say, how does Deer feel about that?
Oh, you can never get a critical hit with 0 dice. All right,
Oh.
that's still a
Yeah.
6.
it's still a success. Like,
That's not fair.
the idea is
Alright.
you're completely unskilled in it. Like,
Yeah.
That'll be 3 instead of 4 then. That's fine. I think it's actually supposed to be 5 on a crit, but either way, it's 3.
That's fine.
That's still good. Normally the talking ape comes by whenever they cut too many trees. So, it is good that you have come here, but things are fine. Do you know the other talking ape?
Gruel shakes her head. So I was using the wrong voice for this talking animal. No, could you please tell me who this is? What do they look like?
I will take you to them. Follow me. And the deer leads you through the town, and people like kind of give you like a berth as you go by, because like you're this tiny halfling with the skull on your head being led around by a deer, and you have markings of the high guard, like the crown guard has literally given you their tabards so you can walk through the streets. So they don't know what the hell's going on, but it's a big deal. And you are taken all the way down. It takes like literally an hour, and you get to Ivy Crown. And there they take you to like basically an apartment building, essentially. They have a number of different places that are set up. These are just small connected townhouses. And the deer approaches by, "This man takes care of us." And they step to the side.
It's the house they led me to, correct?
Yes.
So far? Yeah. Gruel would walk up, and instinctively she's thinking to just open the door, but then she realizes that's rude, so she starts knocking.
Yes, 1 moment. Sorry, I'm not... You hear, like, just fumbling around inside, like, "Oh, shite!" That's why you see a goblin wearing, like, a really expensive, like, flashy, gaudy-looking suit. "Hello, how can I help you?"
Gruel speaks in... Is Druidic just a written language, or is also a spoken one?
I think there'd be, like, a spoken one that's just used to identify. I don't think it'd be, like, a full-on language.
Okay. Gruel would do the common Druidic greeting that she was taught by the Shalmaritians, and then immediately transition to speaking Sylvan. Hello, I am Gruel, Druid of the Stars, follower of Shalmaris and Noom. Who are you?
He's just kind of, like, taken aback as he just kind of, like, what? He, pauses for a bit, adjusts his glasses, adjusts the suit a little bit. I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting a conversation in Sylvan to start the day.
Forgive me. It is what I'm most fluent in.
That's fine. It's an understandable language to speak. You've given me a Shelmaritian greeting. You are a religious druid, I take it? I am Ionek. It is my pleasure.
Religious, but mostly due to tradition. I do not know much about the gods of Noom, but I do worship Noom mostly.
I see. Well, you've been raised by some proper Shelmaritians. They've given you the old style of greeting, the kind that is so formal that it hurts to hear. Come inside. Do you drink?
Gruel scratches her head and tries to remember what a drink is, and then realizes what it is. No, that is poison. Dulls the senses.
Dulls the senses. Aye, it does. Fucking aye, it does. Pours himself a drink, downs it. You know, there's a lot of statements about druids that exist in cities. They say that we're all stuffy, that we
live in rags and the woods and all that.
He's already drunk.
Well, I don't think that's the case. I think that a druid can be any way that they want, as long as they have their heart in the right place. You, my friend, should lighten up a bit.
Pours you a drink. This goblin's the biggest lightweight in the world.
Gruul grabs the cup that the drink is in, sloshes it around back and forth a bit, and then immediately chugs it all in one go like she does with her water.
Oh my god, give me an endure check.
Is this controlled or?
Yeah, this is controlled.
A minor. Oh, sorry. You have to give me options. Never mind.
Yes, so your options here are lesser harm or a minor complication.
Minor complication sounds funny.
All right. Gruul, you are also a lightweight.
Gruul starts
This is actually factually correct to what happened in the past.
Oh, true. Yeah, I think
I remember the first time we were in the bar and you got
Oh yeah.
Gruul starts barely keeping her balance. She's falling, not falling, but moving around erratically, like she can't really stand straight, and her speech is slurred. Yes. Why do you drink this?
You see, there's lots of reasons that people drink. I do it because it's fun. But also, I do it to celebrate, and I found a new friend. Are you staying? You're wearing Royal Guard. Are you new to the Royal Guard? Can you get me in? I always wanted to go to the Crown District. They don't let me in. They say I'm not good enough as a druid. I think I'm pretty good as a druid. I got to stop cutting down too many trees, right?
Gruul nods. 7 nights. I'm here for 7 nights.
7 nights. We can a lot of damage. The clubs aren't ready for us.
He's you notice at this point why he's so happy around you. He is finally taller than someone.
Gruul points to her staff and says, "Club."
Club? No. Their clubs are so much better than this. My friend, let me show you the way that druids are meant to live. You see.
And at this point, for just the brief moment, in the midst of this guy just being a complete screw up, wakes up at 2 p.m., already hungover, and immediately gets drunk when he meets another druid, you realize the good parts of Iadek, because he straightens up a little bit as best as he can and says the following.
You see, there's a lot to do in this world for us druids. And just because we've sworn an oath to Noom to be servants of the land, doesn't mean we can't have our own loves and joys and fun. We're people too.
Gruul nods in a way that seems like part of that may have reached her skull, but she's too far gone from the drink.
Just remember, you got to do the work first before the play. Otherwise you get in trouble with the law.
oh.
And I think that's our scene.
Nice.
Iadek, as a druid, is fairly good at what he does. Not great, but he's good. But most importantly, he teaches Gruul of the importance of not only your druidic duties, but also not losing yourself in them. If you choose to spend more time with Iadek in this particular case, he will, in between trying to get you to party with him, also show you what he does around the city. Though you already know that he attends to the animals and that he deals with like the sawdust and acts as sort of like a regulator, essentially.
Cool.
But that's up to you. Everyone else, we've got some free downtime because the reason why I'm giving you free downtime is because last arc we were not playing this game. So this is sort of a catch-up downtime.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right.
Okay, so in that case, we'll start with Blix. Blix, any ambitions that you want to pursue?
Yeah, there's one I've got to get done before we leave. I want to go check on the progress of the vest.
All right, and what action rating are you doing here?
You got
Click my
action
character.
rating.
Why?
Yeah, is that the right?
I might be wrong. I might be like confusing it for a different game.
I just don't know where the rating term comes from.
Oh, it is called action rating. I'm correct.
What?
It
Let's call them skills.
Where's...
page 18.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, anywhere where it says like improve an action on the tables and stuff. That's what they mean as well.
Action ratings must hit their action. Okay, yeah, okay.
Oh, I guess it makes some sense. Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know why they say rating, but sure.
It is what it is.
It's referring to like your dots.
Yeah.
As opposed to like
I mean, sure, but you just do the
atomic
action and
ideal
how
of
much.
the skill. I know why they needed to do. I'm just gonna call them skills. We all know what that means. I'll eventually get over it.
What, you're not going to call them reflex slaves forever? Or sense motive? God damn it.
I played Pathfinder 2.
Yeah.
I just never made those mistakes. So I never make mistakes. No, I'll go with charm. I guess because it's weird because it's
Going with your charm
more on
reflex
the-
save.
it's the tailor doing the work. So
Let's say this is like the haggling and such.
Are you able
Okay.
to use effort in these checks or not?
I mean, you can use
that's-
them. I don't see why not.
Okay. I wasn't sure if effort
I don't
applies to
think there's a rule.
downtime.
I don't think there's a rule saying you can't.
all right,
Let's see what you got.
all right. I'm
Let's see
gonna
your
roll charm. A 6.
Hey, a success. That's enough to complete the Great Vest.
Nice.
You get the vest. What does this vest look like?
It's Oh crap! Hold on. I was thinking of something I could do with it, but then that changes what color it would be. No, it's gonna be. It's a black, but it's nice. It's nice fabric. It's just a simple black vest, but it's sturdy. There's no logos or markings on it.
It's like a matte
I'll
leaf,
give.
or-
Here's the thing. I'm not planning on giving it to him just yet. I know when I'm going to do it. I'll have a description of it by then.
Okay. So I'll let you know what the result of this ambition is, because this will also be an item. So this is a trophy.
Mhm.
Trophies are items that have limited uses. This is a narrative trophy in particular, which is another homebrew thing. Normally trophies are for combat, but this one's a narrative trophy. And this one is once per session. Anytime that you feel like you are nervous, you can use the vest for a confidence boost and roll with plus 1d. But only if it's
Hell
a
yeah.
situation where you would be nervous.
Okay, so all the time
That's
for Doug.
great.
That's my secret. Yeah. I'm always nervous.
Oh, that's perfect.
The vest of confidence. It's been imbued with domestic magic.
I love it.
Nice. All right, so I will fill out that circle.
Yeah, and when you fill out a circle, when you fill out an ambition, you get experience. Because that is a 6.
Mark 1 experience.
You mark 2.
I just need to buy more vests. It's stronger that way.
The raw power of vests.
All right.
By the power
so that's
vested in me.
So So my character sheet doesn't have an inventory, right?
That is largely incorrect, but it's weird.
Really?
Yeah, it goes in traits and relics, but it's weird.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Because that's where you put your relics, and then that's also where you put your
Yeah.
trophies. But again,
And
it's kind of weird.
Where my abilities are, the things I use in combat, and then the things I use out of combat. Vest of Courage.
Yeah, make sure to put one per session.
Yeah.
That's how it's marked. If you want to use the correct. But anyways, that's that downtime result. Hats, what are you looking into?
Dougal is going to get back on the advanced dreamwalking grind, because that is still a problem that needs to be resolved before Selkrow kills us in our dreams.
All right.
One way to put it, yeah.
Hey, I'm with it. So, you're studying, I imagine?
Yep.
All right. Better than smashing.
Not for me. I am much better at smashing than studying.
Damn, we're all
Okay.
rolling sixes.
Okay, we're making progress.
Wow, I like how... What is this description? How did you do that? How did you make it print that out?
When you type in the roll, you can put it in the notes. So what you put in the notes appears in the roll. I recommend adding things to the notes. Yeah, when you roll a skill off your character sheet. Try it out. Try it out when you roll.
Oh, there is a note thing. I
Notes.
see, yeah.
Oh,
That's neat.
I
Okay.
ignored that.
Cool. Yeah.
So that's going to mark 3 on this one here. As you're studying advanced dreamwalking, you find a little bit in this part of town, but you realize it's not going to be so easy to find it here. The reason being is that dreamwalking is something that the wolf monks of the Eldonian desert are particularly involved in, and that would be where you would find more books.
All right.
They use dreamwalking as a way of contacting like powerful beings and getting guidance that way. That's part of their culture.
Neat. Gonna have to talk to them then, or talk to their books. And by talk to books, I mean read their books.
You really need that vest.
Maybe.
You'll get it soon. Not yet, but soon.
Yeah, what you are able to learn about dreamwalking is that dreamwalking can be used to essentially, first of all, go into the plane of dreams, but you can then further go out of the plane of dreams using it as a main hub, and that's what they're kind of looking into. What you can do from there is you can either carve out a space and create your own, they're referred to as dream bubbles. You note to yourself that is something that you've seen Selkrow do. However, you can also go out into the material plane, and doing so is pretty nice, but very dangerous. If you screw it up, you might not find your way back. So, for that reason, it's not commonly done, but it is the basis of teleportation.
Huh.
It's a magic that reportedly existed in the past, but after something happened pre-Baal, it stopped happening.
Oh.
Alright, so that's your research.
All right.
And the magic specifically is like guardrails to make it so that you don't get like separated from your body and then have to be a disembodied spirit forever.
Yeah, that'd suck.
Jazz, what are you looking into with your week of downtime?
The second, this is a second downtime thing.
Yep.
I could visit the demonic temple. Which demon was that?
That's Eutalia.
Ooh, Though that's a witch one, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, sure, I'm down to do that.
Okay. We'll have another scene for you at the end of this session, but in the meantime, let's visit this temple. When you visit the temple, you are greeted warmly by the priests. All of them are wearing witch robes. Some of them have swords, some of them have staves. It is a traditional garb, one that is a little bit frightening because they are like visibly armed, but you get the sense that this is like a warrior monk. There's a religious and a martial practice to it. Hail and well met!
Hello, I am Gruel.
Hello, girl. What brings you to the temple? I have not seen you here before.
I am Shel Mauritian. Do not know about demon lords. Tell me more about Utalia.
It is uncommon for Shelmaritians to respect the right of demons. I appreciate it. I am Yastira. We are worshippers of Utalia. You see, for us worshippers here, we understand that hell is better than heaven. Heaven is too regimented, too strict. You can't have fun down there. Our afterlife is better served with the demon kings. And she kind of swerves over and points to a statue of Utalia. You see a girl who is wearing like this black gown, and they've actually painted this statue, and you can see there's just this vibrant yellow in her left eye and a completely like Vanta black in the right eye, to the point where it's like almost unnerving to look at. Utalia. Her kingdom is the most noble in all of hell, so long as you catch her on her good sides.
Gruel's gonna like cast like whatever equivalent of a light cantrip is and like shine it up next to the black eye.
It's like the paint absorbs the light.
Yeah. Magic? Gruel points at it.
Yes. It is a traditional thing that we have. We have used this for some time, Utalian. We use it in ceremonial equipment and for the ceremonial paint that we use here. They also pull out like a sword where the scabbard has been covered in this same light-absorbing black paint. This is used to train witches. It is traditional.
Gruel nods.
She also points to a staff, which is completely yellow. Utalia teaches us that there is a duality in people. There is the calm, and then there's the storm. We seek to control the storm within ourselves and to master the fury, the calm rage of the twisted black. And in doing so, we can become better and find balance.
Does Gruel know why it's yellow?
Grill, you may attempt a study check or a charm check here, whichever one makes more sense.
I could try a study.
All right.
Ooh, the 6 and the
Oh, that's.
You're gonna
sad.
expend an effort here.
Oh,
It would just be roll one more, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because that would get rid of the 1, right?
Would it?
Yeah, because
Is
Yeah.
Wouldn't it just add another dice and you'd get whatever that last dice is?
No.
it's advantage.
It'll be going
Oh,
from 0
because you go
to
from
1.
0 to 1. You're
Oh
right.
my goodness.
No, you get a 6. That will be 3. You are learning essentially that some religions are different than others in like a very, very profound way. Like the Shelmaritians are kind of mystics, but worship of Shelmaris is like, let's build great societies and live in harmony with nature. That's what you learned, right?
Right.
Now you're learning about these witches who are like, let's conquer the evil inside of us. And you're like, whoa, what? But it's true. There is, in fact, darkness in people, and you come to see that there is wisdom in this religion. Also, you see, like, the witches are doing, like, cool shit and, like, teleporting around and doing combos. Yeah, exactly.
And when they dodge, time slows down for them.
Wow.
Their frame rate's pretty bad, though.
Your frame rate.
The other thing that you learn is that heaven and hell, as they exist in the world, hell being either, like, very lawful or very chaotic, depending on where you go. Heaven being just generally good. Not everyone sees heaven as, like, the ideal afterlife.
What? Why does that make it yellow? Sorry.
Why does it make it yellow?
Their staff or whatever was yellow, right?
Oh,
The eye was.
yeah, I'll give you that because you rolled a 6. So, the twisted black is the mage, and yet the sword is black. Whereas the sword is the frenzied yellow, and yet the staff is yellow. The reason for this is because cults of Eutalia praise balance above all else. So they counteract the black with the sword. And they counteract the yellow with the staff. The symbolism is that you must temper both sides of yourself. And that is the Eutalia cult.
Nice. Gruul would like mime if they have like a religious symbol around their neck or something, like a sigil or amulet, should try to mime it as like a salute and say, "Thank you, taught me much about myself."
Nice. It's hard to imagine Gruul having like this inner calculating hatred inside of her, but you never know. All right. Last but not, well, second last, penultimate, as Jazz will have a scene near the end. We've got Shrike, who can investigate any number of things.
I mean, there's things I'd like to do, but I guess I'll finish the investigating the spooky, weird skull.
Ooh, nice.
Because I've got 3 of the 4, so I may as well finish it off.
Yeah, finish
I don't know if I can like buy like a tower shield just on the side.
You can get a tower shield. I don't think it has like mechanical.
It
thing.
won't, but I mean,
Yeah, I'm with it.
yeah.
Big ass shield. Matt loves those.
I do. This was the second idea that I had for Oven, and I originally went with. I was like, do I want to do the tower shield build, or do I want to do like a really big freaking weapon build? And I decided a really freaking big weapon. But an icon that fits more for the defensive build.
Okay.
So.
I've known you love tower shield since we played our first Pathfinder game. Like when we started talking about RPGs.
Oh, with like Lily?
You've always.
Oh jeez.
Well, like no, ever since we started
Lily was
talking
a
about
thief,
tabletop
like-
games. Like but you still would always talk about like the tower.
In Dark
shield
Souls
mechanics of
2, I did
Pathfinder.
tower shield and great sword. Screwed the armor, just great shield and great sword. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
I mean, this icon doesn't have handedness, so like it doesn't care if the great sword's two-handed or one-handed. I can have a great shield and a great shield.
All right.
It doesn't mechanically do anything, but narratively, I guess.
So what are we doing?
I'm investigating the skull. So I want to know. I need a different opinion because I've investigated as much as I can. I need an expert's opinion of what am I missing about this that would close the gap of knowledge that I'm having. So
I kind of get that at the meeting. Like,
I mean, I consider bringing it up, but I decided not to. It was like, I mean, I could go to
can
the
you just
general
make
again
that
and say,
connection?
"Hey, what do you think about this?" I could, but I want to exert like our influence of being I want to use
No.
command and basically say that, hey, we are important people. We're from Mistfall. We're torchbearers. What do you think about this really weird skull that doesn't seem to match like natural things that we'd expect? What am I missing about this that you are thinking of it from a different perspective?
Okay.
I want to find someone.
All right. Let's use command for this.
All right. Can I use effort to get a +1 on
Yeah.
that? Okay. I will do so. So I will get 2d. And this is controlled?
Control. Yeah, this is controlled
Or-
because this is essentially just a fortune roll and downtime is what this actually is.
Okay. Oh, I got a 6. Okay.
Yeah, more 6s. We're just on a roll.
Okay.
Which is enough to complete it, yeah.
You see, like a goblin is just looking at this skull, and they're like, This is quite weird. I haven't seen anything like this. You'll notice that this skull is smaller in size. Like, it seems like it would belong to something like a halfling or something.
Yeah.
However, the skull itself is large. It's thick. The bones are stronger. It reminds me of a Goliath. Now, you can tell that this is a light-born creature when you investigate it with this leaf. I've rubbed this leaf in Kliss crystals, so the leaf acts as an indicator, so we can determine that this is a light-born creature. However, this is nothing that I've seen before. Sir, where did you find this?
We were on the way down from Serial, and we got attacked by some undead creatures.
You'll notice that this skull is new. By the looks of the bone, it was very quickly grown. Almost like this creature grew to maturity in a matter of months, rather than years. There's no
Unnatural,
wear like
yeah.
born. Then, on top of it, the fact is, this creature clearly grew. This skull was not generated by magic. So, what? You found this on the road? This is horrific.
I mean, the thing attacked us. It was alive.
I see.
As alive as an undead thing can be.
This is a sturdy creature. Whatever this is.
Put up a fight, yeah.
And what's more is that whatever this thing is, it's clearly the skull. You encountered it as undead.
I did, yeah.
There must have been then a creature that was alive with this skull shape. It's like nothing I've seen before.
Something artificial, you could say.
Artificial. I would say God-forsaken.
Blasphemous.
And I would even go as far to say as I suspect, and forgive me for bringing power to his name, Baal's involvement. That's the only one that could come up with something like this. This is despicable. To grow so fast in such a short amount of time is just unnatural. Oven, through this, you learn that these creatures were not summoned. They were created. They were born and very rapidly aged, then died, and then they were used to create these skeletons.
Jesus.
Could he determine that like the skeletons were raised via traditional necromancy, or like did they just have a body, died? Oh, well, now we've got this skeleton. Might as well use it for something.
Yes, it's that sort of thing. Like,
Okay.
the actual skeleton magic animation is just basic necromancy. The weird thing is the skeleton in the first place is like a halfling Goliath.
Which is
Huh.
absolutely wild, yeah. It's not something you naturally see.
Normally, when you have various Lightborn together, it creates Cell. Like, Cell is just the natural result of Lightborn. Whereas this is like, instead of going into... Let me put it this way. Like, imagine mixing paint together, right? Normally, when you mix paint together, you get like a muddy color, a mixture of the two. This is like they created a new color somehow.
A goblin told us so.
The goblin at this point is like freaking out because you gave him this thing. And he's like, what the hell is this?
This shouldn't exist.
But this will give you some insight. You now have a knack for determining what Salcro's work is.
That's good. So we know if something was literally created by him or not.
Yeah, so if you're ever investigating something related to Salcro, you can gain plus 1d. As you have personal insight into like what Salcro does. So I would put that as like a bond power. It's a very minor ability, but one that will be useful in this campaign about Salcro, as you can imagine. Finally, as you are walking back from the temple, Gruel, you get a strange chill down your neck.
Uh-oh.
And you encounter a very tall elf with long flowing hair, and he has what appears to be like a scythe on his back. His hair is completely white, and his skin is sort of like a caramel color. He is dressed in completely black robes, and looks like some sort of thing. Would you stop? Could you kindly? I have a word that I'd like to say to you. Perhaps a word or two.
Gruel looks them up and down at their like darting her eye back and forth between the flowing hair, the clothes, and then looking them back in the face, and nods her head. Yes?
Have you seen this man? And he gives like a pretty good drawing of your instructor, surrogate father figure.
Why you need to know?
You remind me of somebody that has seen this man before, and he is an old friend of mine. I'm looking for him.
Sorry, not good common. Do you speak Sylvan?
Yes, I will repeat in Sylvan. This man is a good friend of mine.
Yes. As is the case with anyone I may or may not know, I would like to know why you would like to know who they are and how far back your friendship goes. It would not be wise of me to give information to strangers about people I may or may not be close to.
Okay. You may use the sensibility in this case.
Okay. Is this risky or controlled?
This is risky.
Okay.
You're getting some bad vibes from this guy. Oh my god.
We're only rolling sixes. That's 8 out of the last 9.
You immediately suss this guy out. Something is not right about him. And, like, you don't know what exactly it is, but the way that this guy carries himself, and then it clicks. How does he know that you know him? Doesn't make any sense. This guy knows something. If he was someone that knew your entire troop, he would know who you are, and you would know who he is. You would have seen him. But if this guy found out, wait a minute. No, this doesn't make sense. There's no reason that he would know him and not know who you are, and you have never seen... Like, you would recognize a 7-foot-tall, dark-skinned elf with flowing, like, white hair anywhere. Like, that is not something that you would just miss.
I have a passing interest in the Starcrest Temple, and I have met with this man many times to discuss. He was going on a journey there. I am looking for him so that I can find, first, is my friend safe? Secondly, what he encountered there.
What I can say about the man is he is a Shelmaritian priest. Very famous one, in fact.
Yes, I'm quite aware of that. And you are Gruel of Mistfell. You are quite familiar with him as well. I know who you are.
Rule like does a double take. Like the eyes are like bug wide for a second there. And then finally she regains composure. I'm sorry, do I know you?
Yes. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Vanille.
May I ask how you know who I am?
You have encountered my friends before. They have done some investigative work. I, of course, am a member of the Viridian Knights. I would not want to deceive you.
Well, of the Viridian Knights, I am not impressed. They seem to be doing unethical experiments on the Chris Crick of Mistfell. So, you allying yourself with them is not a good look, if I may respectfully say.
Yes, Biscuit is doing something of the sort. But I have done nothing wrong. And I assure you, my intentions are magnanimous.
Well, I have not seen that individual in ages, and I cannot tell you much else about where they went or who they are. I suggest maybe you try checking the Starcrest Temple since you've discussed that with them. That is about the only lead I can provide you.
That is a good idea. Perhaps I will head there next.
Is that a good idea?
I was
Point more people there?
I was just hoping that you had a lead wouldn't have. I don't want. But it is the fastest way.
I'm sorry, what is this of dragons?
The dragons on. Well, you've been there. You're from Mistfell. I'm sure you're familiar with the dragons there. On the Halfstufe range. Or do you not know? Well, if you don't know, I would recommend not going that way unless you're confident you can kill a dragon. Oh, one more thing. I remember hearing something. That your Nomu friend, I can't remember his name, it's not important to me.
Right.
He was a follower of runes. Is that true?
I do not know if they follow Bryquin. I do not. Is Bryquin not an ancient king?
Yes, the Cyclops King.
I think it would be strange to follow a king that died so many eons ago.
You think he is dead? Curious. Perhaps you're not as well informed as I thought you were. But that's alright. There's a wide world out there. There's much to learn. Gruel, I have taken a liking to you. Do you mind if I give you unrequested advice?
Okay.
I would ask that you no further attempt to get in Biscuit's way. We would not want to have to fight you.
Wow, fuck this guy.
I'm not sure that is my choice.
You're not in a position of leadership then. I see.
Less about a position of leadership, more about a position of that being untenable. If they continue to do things to the Chris Crick and Mistfell, it is our job to do something.
Even if continued study of the Crisquick will lead to a breakthrough that will potentially save thousands or millions of lives.
That's a very big if with no proof.
Correct. I have my criticism of our master, but I believe he has the greatest potential for getting me to where I need to be. So I follow him.
Stab this guy.
Do you want a balloon?
Gruel shakes her head.
I see. I saw a child who was selling balloons, and they looked quite destitute, so I purchased a lot of balloons, but I'm realizing now I shouldn't keep them in my bag of holding for too long. Otherwise, when I open it, balloons might come out.
You could give them back to the kid.
Well, then I've given them money for nothing.
Well, you didn't buy the balloons for the balloon's sake.
It appears I have much to learn about the world. You are wise beyond your years, Gruel. Please see to it that your life is not cut short with unnecessary conflict,
Gruel nods, and you too. Good luck. And then just decides to scurry off.
A balloon comes out of his bag of holding. Oh no. I was worried this would happen.
How does it even happen?
Because the balloons float up.
But you only grab what you want out of it.
Alright, that is where we'll end our session.
Nice.
Everyone, let's go over the checklist. We'll begin with Blix. Blix, you've completed one of your ideals. Did you add 2 experience for this?
We need to complete 2 of them to add 2, but
Well, Blix completed 2 ideals. Or Blix completed.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I think only the second one, the heritage, background, beliefs through the actions. I mean, that's just one you always get.
is it?
Is it?
Is it?
It's not always. Sometimes there have been zeros. But my question is, have you added the XP for completing the ambition?
I did, yes.
Alright, now add 1 experience for the ideals. I think you've only completed 1 here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about combat? Didn't we do combat?
You
We
did
did not.
do a combat tutorial. I don't know if I'd call that a combat.
Yeah, but we unlocked all those cool abilities.
Yeah, and I'm not feeling that one here, but I will give you the 2 experience for the ambition and the 1 experience for that.
All right. So I got 3 experience.
Duggle.
All
I'm gonna
right,
clear
I
off.
did not complete an ambition because it's a very long-term ambition. But I would say address challenges with investigation, intuition, and planning definitely applies to the approach to the upcoming journey. And I think that in the course of that briefing with the Queen, when he was explaining about soul rejection, I think that was him being so into the topic of how a thing works and explaining it that he did overcome his self-doubt, and that he was so into the topic that he forgot to be nervous, basically. So I would also say overcame inherent self-doubt to express himself.
Yeah, I'm into
So
it.
that'd be 2 XP.
Right on. Next is Gruel.
Where's my? Oh yeah, it's in a different. Okay, yeah. So ideals, right? I express my heritage, background, or beliefs through my actions. I think that's like true on many accounts,
Yep.
at least. I have one. I don't know if this is like too specific. I don't know how the ideals go. I have one that I wrote last time. You could see it. I help protect nature from destruction. I don't know if that's
I'm with
something I
it.
should.
Yeah,
We
that,
did
that
that,
fits
even though
totally.
you didn't like contribute anything meaningfully. The fact is, like, you went towards that goal. It just happens that major towns happen to have druids, and not all druids are the same. Some druids build log cabin. All right,
Cool.
Oven.
Well, okay. I'm going to give an example of I express my heritage, background, or beliefs in that during the meeting with the queen, I was literally just kind of fucking around with the weird skull and like miming,
Yeah,
texting to that kind of stuff and be like, yeah, I kind of respect authority, but I'm always going to do it in my own way, and that I'm like, I'm gonna say Your Majesty every time, but I'm gonna sit there and kind of mock you at the same time, when then quietly put it away. I didn't back down when faced with the challenge. I was literally like mocking, yeah, of course I'm gonna punch a fucking god in the face every weekend. Of course, why not? It's easy. Yeah. I completed an ambition, so I believe that's 3 XP.
yeah, that sounds right. So this is more of like a preparation for the next session, but it's a session nonetheless. What are we calling this one?
I have an unrelated question, but why is it called Great Star? What, like on the map it says Great Star. Why?
Oh,
Why is that district called Great Star?
Why is the district called Great Star? The answer is it has to do with the Starcrest Temple.
Okay, like if I wouldn't know, then don't tell me. But
yeah, you wouldn't know.
Okay.
I can tell you yes, because it doesn't really matter. The reason why it's called Great Star is because the Starcrest Temple was originally like the landmark of the region, like in the Hinkleyan Dominion. Back when it was old, Great Star is the second oldest district, and the Starcrest Temple is like this ancient building that everyone's like, oh my god, the Starcrest Temple, so cool. So the Starcrest Temple was seen as like a protective force because no one really knew what it was for. It's not
I have a question about relics. We just get to pick what we get, right?
oh yeah, can we spend dust?
Yeah, you can spend dust. You can get relics, but you do not get them in level 2. So what I say is that
so I was
over the course of the journey and the way to level 2, you will find relics.
okay.
So if you have a relic in mind that you'd like to pick, just let me know in the...
Yes, I already know what I want.
Right on.
And I know the form I wanted to take.
Well, what are we calling this one?
It was a lot of planning. So we were introduced to adrenaline. We chose our route.
I mean, I'm fine with like the tutorial
the vest.
session.
I was gonna say the tutorial.
Yeah. I like the tutorial level. The tutorial level. That I like that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a fun one. See you next
I was
week.
trying to pun on that concept, but it was coming up dry.
So are we gonna spend our dust next time, or
spending dust is the kind of thing that's better done like out of the session in chat.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense because it might take forever otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that way you can like discuss over like a few days, think it over, and then like work out the logistics. Like we all have this much dust. Let's spend it.
We all have 4 dust, so we got 12 dust total.
Oh my goodness!
Let's work on your math.
What?
A new
4 times
ambition.
3. Oh, 4 times 4 is... Yeah. I
Yeah.
see. Yeah,
Still-
16.
Still
Of
16.
course.
Even
I'm-
better. Right. That's sick.
See you next week, everyone. Or
Have a good one.
Sunday for the Sunday gamers.
Why don't I see Oven in the major characters under Torchbearers?
You should.